Would you like a cup of tea? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic day. I have, hopefully, a wonderful stream for you, and with some wonderful guests. Let me just double check a thing real fast, and then we'll swap on over. Let's see here. Boop. Boop, boop.
Yeah, baby!
Okay. I think we're good to go. So, let's go ahead and swap on over. Welcome in, everybody. How are you today? I am joined above me by two wonderful, wonderful people at YV1, at official Ross DTD. Hello. Welcome in, both of you.
Hello.
Hello. How's everyone going? What time is it for everyone? I don't know what time everyone is in at this time of morning.
Well, it's 2 for me. And actually, yesterday I realized that I thought time zones were different, actually a little bit. I thought it would be like 1 o'clock for me. Wrong. So that it's 8 a.m. for you guys. Because for those that don't know, one, I'll go through the chat and say hello to everyone here in a second. But when we were getting all this set up, I was like asking them, one, if they wanted to be on the stream. And then they said yes. And then I was like, great. What time would work for you guys? And I was like, because I don't want to like have you guys start too early. And they initially, I don't know if you guys realize this, he initially suggested like 7 a.m. ish.
Yeah.
That's illegal to ask someone to be on stream at 7 a.m. So
We usually
like,
go
no.
live at like 6 a.m. ish for us.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I was like, I don't want to make you wait too late. So I was happy to. I'm
And
up
I
at
think-
5:45 most mornings, and I think
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah, Raf's about the same.
Wife is probably on the way to work, and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
already
I'm
at
at
work
work,
at 7.
yeah. 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'm probably on the train.
Unbelievable. That is that's just so early. But okay, let's say hello to a few people real fast, and then we will commence. But one, Ainsley, welcome in. This is your first time here. Hello, how are you? I'm Jet. And you're first, so welcome in. Let's see, who else do we have? Sassy, welcome in, Sassy. Hello, Diego. Hello, Mary. Hello. I'm glad you like the art, Mary. Why does the Go Live say this is happening tomorrow? Did it say that? It's possible. It's possible I didn't update it. Are we in the right category and everything?
Maybe you're doing our time zone for the go live. So like Saturday.
Oh, I just didn't update the Go Live. I think we should be in the right category. But thank you, Sassy, for letting me know. I don't believe I've seen you around here. Oh, Mary talking to Ainsley. Hello. Ross, hello, and welcome to the stream, Ross. Daz, welcome in, Daz. Oh wait. Oh, uh-oh. So none of that should be on. All of the redeem should be off. Ainsley, or yeah, you redeemed something. I will return your points to you. I'm so sorry. They should all be off. Hold on. Paused. Great. Hopefully that worked. Let's see. Boop. Hello, everybody. Space Broncos, welcome in. How are you? Daz, thank you for the bits. And Ainsley, thank you for 100 bits. I appreciate it. Oh, Twitch added 3 bits to Daz's power-up redemption. Wonderful. I got a notification for that. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. We are mostly going to be just chatting and hanging out. Oh, Ponce, hello. Too much to bear. Let's see. Baz, hello. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. We're mostly going to be chatting. We do have a game lined up. If in the case we get past the chatting, but we will see. But first, before we kind of roll into all of that, a lot of you may have never seen these two wonderful people before, which is a shame, I think, because I feel like everything has just been so much rosier with these two. So I think you guys need to, you know, be introduced to them. So, Ross, if you would start us off, how about you tell us a little bit about you, your channel, what do you stream?
Sure. My name's Raph. I play a lot of first-person shooters, but then randomly insert games that don't belong in that genre, like Fall Guys or Rocket League. But really, you're gonna see me playing a lot of Call of Duty, especially when Black Ops 6 comes out.
I feel like at this point, no matter what I've seen you play, you end up doing like really good at it.
I cherry pick those games.
The one time that I joined you guys for Fall Guys, one I still apologize for because my performance was so bad. But you guys just carried me to victory. You doubled the amount of crowns I have, which is now 2. But still, it's double. Yeah. And when do you normally stream now? To let people know. What days?
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
So friends, if you are not following Ross or Raph, I will switch between the two. Go do it. Go do it right now. There's a link in chat. But now we have another guest with us. Boop. YV. How about you tell us about yourself? What kind of games do you play?
Oh, hello. I'm Ivy. I'm Australian, just like Raph.
We like it. We like it.
Yeah, I play usually platformers and a lot of single-player stuff generally. Switching between quite contemporary stuff, like this last week playing a lot of Astrobot.
How has Astro been?
Oh my word. I'm so upset. I don't think I get to stream again until Tuesday next week because there's a race this weekend.
No.
And that's like a long time to not be playing Astrobot, and I'm so close to finishing it, but it's amazing. I recommend it to everyone. But I also play like Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro the Dragon, Croc. Yeah, just a lot of fun, calm-ish platformers and childhood favorites of mine. Pretty much just reliving my childhood.
And the occasional Power Wash Sim.
And the occasional Power Wash Sim, which has been a while. We do need to do that again soon.
Yes.
Okay. So many games have come out that I really want to play and stream.
I think yesterday on my stream, somebody said, someone brought up Power Wash. And I was like, don't worry. I'm just biding my time. There's just too many games that are releasing right now.
Yeah.
YV's mobbing some Astro. And so and then there's Funko Fusion released today,
Funko
I've
Fusion
heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go buy that today. Yeah, there's just so many games came out. And what was it? Casting of Frank Stone or something?
Oh, right.
That other one that I really want, the horror one. Yeah, so I play a bit of horror too when I can.
No gracias.
So couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Joint stream though.
But friends, if you're not following YV, please do. There is a link, in fact, now in the chat. Both of these people, wonderful. I hope to, whenever I get a chance to maybe go to Australia, I will probably uncomfortably hug these people for, well, I guess the hug won't be uncomfortable, but the length of it will be. Because they are just fantastic. You'll love their streams. If you like what we do here, I think you'll love them even more. So please go ahead and you know, show them some love. But anyway, so we do have a game as a maybe, But I'd like just to kind of like
This swarthy
lounge a little bit with you guys, because you guys know that I like to lounge. But for those that don't know, you guys are, would you guys consider yourself to be like besties? Are you guys besties or
Acquaintances?
Friend of a friend.
Yeah, it's same group. There's a group. We're both in that group. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely. It's starting to seem very one-sided also during this conversation.
I would say best friends.
Yeah, probably best friends. It's kind of Space Broncos is in the chat right now, so that's real awkward. He's also one of our very, very, very close friends. I'm one of those people who has like a lot of best friends because you're best friends for different reasons in different aspects. But yeah, Raph is definitely I'd consider best friends.
Sorry, apologies to the other best friends in the chat. Not trying to alienate anybody. But that's good, because I feel like and the the things could really this conversation could go in a lot of different places, but I figured one, I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys. I think I've mentioned it on stream, but one, I don't typically have guests on my stream very often. Pretty solo streamer, but this is actually 200% more guests than I've ever had on a single stream. So and not only that, they know each other very well, probably. Besties, we've heard, acquaintances maybe. I figured I would be doing myself a disservice and everybody else a disservice if I didn't put together maybe a little best friend quiz.
Yeah, I while you were saying that sentence, I realized. Yeah, I was like, oh, we're doing the newlywed game. Okay.
On the flippy flip.
Okay, can I preface this real quick with I have a terrible memory, and it is a well-known fact by everyone ever that I have a bad memory.
No, some of this will be not just because I didn't ask you guys questions before. No. I didn't I didn't ask anybody else. I didn't go to Broncos tell me everything. I have come up with some questions. That it's not all fully memory. It'll just kind of be a little free form. This isn't serious. A little free form. But I thought it'd be at least a good place to begin. And if any stories pop up, if anything, you just feel free to run with it. Okay.
Safe for work stories, though, I imagine.
Exactly. So, well, I guess the first, I will be keeping score. Okay, I want you to know that. This isn't supposed to be competitive, but there will be a winner. So, who do you think will end up with the most points between the two of you? That's your first question. There's not really no points awarded for this one. Just a test.
I would say Wivey.
No, it depends on the questions. I would say Raph, depending. It really depends on the questions, what the questions are centered around. Yeah.
You chose each other, so you both get a point.
Yeah. Or it's going to be a draw, because you feel bad. You don't want one of us to win over the other one.
You guys both have points on the board. Bronco says Raph easily.
Yeah. See?
All right. Easy question. How did you two first meet? For some of them, if we feel like this is a question, then you need to write it down. That's why there's paper. If not, you guys can just, I feel like there's some that are going to be easy, that you guys know. But anyway, how did you guys first meet?
I know.
Yeah, obviously I know. I was just wondering who was going to say it. We met at high school. We went to the same high school. Raph's a year. What do you got those eyes for? You look like that's not the truth.
No, you continue.
Okay. See, this is going to be the difference. I'll probably have quite general answers, whereas Raph will be able to hone in on the specifics of the answer. So that will be the big difference, I think. So it's probably better that I answer first, and then Raph can actually fact check and fix everything. So that's the way to go about it. It's usually how things go with me. But we met through high school. Raph's a year younger than me, so he was in a different grade or year level. I don't know how you guys say it. But
grade probably, but
had what's the word? Common friends because we both played Call of Duty and we both played Call of Duty with these groups of people, and eventually it became like a bit of a Call of Duty group at school, and we would play Call of Duty and have Skype calls, big group Skype calls, and that's how we met.
That's super cool. One, that you guys did that, have like group Skype calls before like Discord and all that.
Yeah,
awesome.
I miss it. Skype was so good. It was so easy to use.
And it was so funny when someone would rage quit because you could actually hear their laptop lid like slamming shut.
Yeah, back in the day. It was back like the old phones where you'd hear the receiver slam.
Ross, your answer?
Yeah, he got there in the end. But when he started with high school, I was like,
I
because
realized
like we
while
didn't.
talking, you were going, that's what you were thinking. You're like, not really, but okay.
Yeah, I was just like, we didn't really meet at high school. Like, we didn't know each other until we played Call of Duty with the same friends, and then we were like, oh. What was that?
So was the
Oh, Baz's comment. That's
So-
Baz's comment. That's terrible.
when you guys, so like the first time you guys talked, was that like on Skype or did you meet beforehand?
No, it would have been Skype, I'd imagine.
Oh, really?
We weren't friends, I should point out. I don't know. But yeah, we're historically, funnily, we didn't like each other.
Why not? Tell me that.
Probably me being unlikable.
No. Ross, confirm or deny?
Well, I genuinely can't remember.
I mean, you're very different when you're a teenager. So I imagine when we were teenagers, we just didn't think we had a lot in common. We just happened to play Call of Duty together, and we were friends with these other people. I don't think it was it's not we didn't like each other. We just never took the time to bother to get to know each other, I'd say.
Right.
So we would just be playing Call of Duty and chatting to the others, and like you chat to each other, kind of, but not really. But it more evolved because both of us were night owls. During exams and stuff like that, I'd get insomnia and stuff, and then Raph never used to go to sleep until about 4 a.m. So I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Unbelievable. People who stay up that late.
Yeah, people with no sleep schedule. Terrible.
Couldn't believe that.
But yeah, so I'd be laying in bed, not able to sleep, and I'd message the group. And then eventually just start messaging because I knew Raph would be awake. So I'd message him like, hey, you want to play some Call of Duty? I can't sleep. And so the two of us ended up Skyping at like 3 a.m.
Aww.
playing Call of Duty. And that's when we started to like get to know each other and become friends and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think the first couple of times it was just like everyone else would be like, all right, it's bedtime, and would leave. And then we'd just sit in silence for like a minute with just the two of us left in the call. And then one of us would be like, so do you want to keep playing? And we're like, yeah, right. And we'd awkwardly play together, and then that happened enough times that we were just like, oh, I kind of like you.
yeah, we got used to just being the two of us then. Also, we're both quite
awesome.
awkward people, I think, as well, especially as a teenager.
Really?
So that's the other thing. Is
Maybe.
It's hard to branch out and like talk to someone you kind of know, but not really. But then we found we had stuff in common as well, so that helped.
What years were you again?
I would have been in year.
Oh, like birth year or year in school?
No. Like what grade in school?
Was it 10 and 11 or was it 11, 12?
Yeah. Nah, 10 and 11.
Would have been 10 and 11 at the start, yeah. But then I'd say we were proper friends when it was 11, 12. Yeah. Yeah, so we were like 15, 16.
Fair.
Yeah.
Not a question for the quiz, but I am kind of curious because you did say that you guys were awkward or whatever in high school. How would you describe, like, after you kind of got to know each other better, how did how would you describe the other person in high school? Like, were you guys like, was the other person like, you know, what kind of like groups did they like run in? Were they the, you know, popular jock, whatever, or what was that like over there?
I went first last time, so Raph can go first this time.
There we go.
Well, I would say that like we had the same groups really that we were in, like we would just hang out with the same friends. But I guess like at lunchtime and stuff, like YV would have his own people and I'd have my own people, but like our close friends were all the same people. And
Fair.
what I would say YV was. I don't know, I'd say that he was like, he wasn't like a jock, but he wasn't like one of the nerdy kids either. He sort of just did his own thing. If there's one thing about YV in high school, it was that he was the kid that didn't care what everyone else thinks of them.
That's a very polite way of saying that.
Has much changed there? I feel like that hasn't changed probably.
He's a lot more sociable now, and there's less hot takes.
Oh, that's good.
And actually, the biggest change is probably that YV can actually change his mind now.
Oh.
Whereas in high school, he would
snap.
like pick a point of view and he would be like, I'm dying on this hill. I refuse to change my mind on this topic.
Yeah, that is incorrect.
What are there any hills that you remember dying on, YV?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm sure Raph and the boys can remember. Usually the stupidest, smallest things is the thing.
Right.
You know? Like it's just
They were
like,
never major issues.
Yeah, we never have major cross like butting heads kind of things, but it's usually something like a food take or like something like that. Like it's not anything huge. It's just like I don't know. The food thing I always die on, and I still do, is that avocado is trash and tastes
Really?
like metal. It's disgusting. It tastes like having steel in your mouth.
Say seal?
Steel, metal.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's usually one of them.
Interesting. I've actually
Yeah.
never heard that. I know like some people don't like cilantro, you know, because of whatever, but
I love
know what
cilantro.
that
oh, wait, do you guys call it something else?
I
Right,
just not
cilantro?
very traveled in
I'm pretty
food.
sure it's called cilantro here.
I'm gonna Google it.
Wait,
real quick. Bear with me.
Isn't there an herb that we call something here, but elsewhere it's called like
Thinking
Hold
of
on.
egg. What's it called?
no, coriander. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah, because is it cilantro? Isn't that coriander?
Yeah, no, we call it coriander.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. I didn't realize they were the same thing.
They are. Did you
Yeah,
know
no, I like
that?
coriander.
Did you know that some people have like a genetic, genetic?
Predisposition.
Yes. Thank you, YV. 2 points to YV. That makes coriander taste like soap.
Oh.
It like. Yeah, so some people are like, oh, I don't like it. It tastes like soap. It's because it legitimately to them will taste like soapy,
Well,
which
fair
is,
enough.
yeah. Anyway, the more you learn, the more you know. Anyway, I've never heard. Well, I feel like I've never heard people say that they don't really like avocados, but there you go. Fair. You know what? That's fair. I don't like peanut butter, so
Same. No, disgusting.
Yeah,
yeah.
not a
So I
fan.
can't really talk. Wait, really?
Yeah, it's awful. Peanuts in general.
Oh, look at
It's very-
us.
The only nuts I would like is like macadamia is the only nut I'll tolerate, and it's got to be like in a cookie or a muffin or something like that.
Fair.
I'm not just gonna sit there and eat macadamia.
When I go to Australia, we should not eat peanut butter together.
Easy.
That's
Done.
Broncos hates peanut butter. Oh my goodness. It's
I
what
like,
is this?
I like
Friends?
pistachios. Or like actual pistachios, not like a spread.
I don't mind. Like, I like a walnut. A walnut is fine, but I don't know. I don't really eat. I don't get out of my way to eat them, but.
I tried having mixed
They're
nuts
expensive too.
while I was bulking. I was like, I should give nuts a try. I've heard mixed nuts are really good for protein and stuff like that. Disgusting. Couldn't do it. No. Had like a handful. I was like, nope, still don't like nuts.
You tried?
Throw them in the bin. I tried, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I agree. But okay, now Yv.
Yes.
Describe Ross. Yeah. Or Raph, sorry.
Was like the dude in his grade that all the girls absolutely wanted so bad. I'm not joking. He had like the swoopy, like straightened fringe, the long, like emo-y hair. I knew at least 5 to 6 girls who loved him. He was very, very cool. He hung out with like the cooler guys in his grade from memory. The big thing was that our grades were very secular in our school. People didn't super cross the age barrier in our schools, except for Raph was really the only one. We often joke that we had adopted him into our grade. There's even a time
he was so popular, he got like brought up to the next grade.
Pretty
That's
much.
incredible.
There was a time I wasn't in the class, but he went to one of our grades classes and just sat in and tried to like assimilate. See how long it took the teacher to notice. He'll have to tell the story because I wasn't there. It wasn't my class. I don't remember it going well though.
I don't think I can tell the story.
Okay, cool.
Oh no! Oh no! I'll have to ask about that later.
Yeah, I'll have to hear the finer details then. That's interesting.
Oh,
But
goodness.
yeah, so I don't know much about his grade, especially because we were older, so we specifically weren't like looking at the grades below us to see what was going on socially there. We were just like, we're the better grade.
Yeah.
The rest of them suck.
Yeah, that's what high school's like. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know too much about his grade, but I do remember he was very sought after, and he did seem to hang around with a cooler, more popular group of people, for sure.
I
could
have a
see
theory
it.
about that.
Hey, you have a theory about it?
Let's hear
Yeah,
the theory.
Yeah. Okay.
because it was me. Like my group in my grade was me and 3 of my friends, and like we all listened to like obviously like 2013 was like big emo phase for like the world, and like we listened to that music. We had like that hair and stuff, but like the 4 of us just kept to ourselves because like we didn't want to talk to other people. But when you're in high school, especially at that time, that makes you cool. Just not talking to
A
anybody
bit
else.
introverted, don't want to talk to anyone. All the girls are like, oh my god, they're so mysterious. Look at them.
Literally that.
Yeah, I could definitely. Yeah, you had the mystery
very
going
awkward
on.
dudes doing our own thing.
I mean, you know what? I can still see that part of you, though, Raph. Though I wish you had the swoopy hair still. I feel like
My girlfriend often tells me to bring it back.
you should.
Yeah.
Scene Kids are going to come back 2025. It's the
We're gonna find a
2025
photo
will
of
be
it.
seen again. But that's awesome. I feel like, yeah, I could imagine both of you guys and that how you guys described each other seems accurate to me. Okay. Next question. Easy, maybe. Not a complicated question anyways. What is each other's favorite color?
I'll go. I'll go red for Raph.
I was gonna
Raph?
go blue for YB.
Is that correct? Is it red for what are your favorite colors?
I would say red and then black, which is
Yeah.
a shade. So.
Your
Yeah,
stream
mine-
colors?
Mine's blue, but it is very closely followed by green. But yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Points on
I
the
didn't know
board.
green.
All right, you guys might know this. You guys, I feel like this is something that comes up in conversation often enough. If not, you guys can probably take a stab at it. And you know that this will be a very this should not be a surprise question from me, because you guys know that I am the utmost like expert in all things Harry Potter. But yeah. Which house would the other person say they belong in?
Say they belong in.
Yeah, so like
what we think they should belong in.
Right, 'cause that'll be a follow-up question. So, what does YV think? What house would he say he belongs in? What house would Raph say he belongs in?
I think he would say he's a Ravenclaw.
I don't like the tone of voice he used when he said that. I can't tell what Raph would say he was in. I don't know if he's ever picked a house. I don't know if he's that kind of...
I have.
You have? Oh, no.
Also, are you? I know YV, you like Harry Potter. I don't know if I've really asked Raph. Are you like a Harry Potter fan?
I do like Harry Potter. I really like the movies. Fun fact, when the movies were coming out, I was watching all of them and I loved them. And then like I'd caught up on all the movies when Deathly Hallows Part 2, the book, came out. So I just switched to reading the final Harry Potter book. And I was like, there's so much context missing here.
Oh no.
Oh my word.
Oh no.
I was like, well, I need to know what happened.
My heart so much.
Oh boy.
I think Raph would say he's a Gryffindor, but like I'm stuck between Gryffindor and Slytherin. But I think he'd say Gryffindor.
All right. Answers. Which houses do you think you would be in now?
I'm a Slytherin.
Ah. Yeah, Ravenclaw is what I've always, ever since I was a kid.
Fair. Ross taking the lead here. Now
I remember you
okay.
playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. Fair.
Now, which house would you say the other belongs in now? Like, in your opinion, how would you describe the other in houses?
I
do you
feel
think
like
that's
accurate? Ravenclaw. Yeah, I feel like it's accurate. Based on like the limited knowledge I have of what a Ravenclaw is.
It's kind of tough because it's like we said before, Jet, where it's like people kind of have all qualities of the Hogwarts houses.
True.
Because like Raph's very, very loyal, so he's got the Hufflepuff in him. He's very smart. Got the Ravenclaw. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say Slytherin. I've never known him to be super cunning and like do anything to win, kind of. You know what I mean? Unless it's Call of Duty. So I'd be more inclined to go Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff for Raph, or even Gryffindor.
He's like the Avatar of Harry Potter.
He is just Hogwarts.
He is all of Hogwarts. Kind of a side note. Or wait, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say probably Gryffindor, just because I feel like Gryffindors are kind of all-encompassing in a way, in that they're loyal, they're like smart. It's still kind of mostly, you know, I'd say Gryffindor because it is like a good. It has a little bit of everything.
That is sort of a thing in the movies, isn't it? Like they say like what the personality types for each house is, but then Gryffindor's all the other three houses put together plus their own thing.
Gryffindor's kind of like bravery and stuff like that. And you're like, well, how does someone showcase that? Especially in like our kind of world, there's not many chances to be brave in your everyday life in the real world, bar a few.
It is a bit odd. It's a bit odd if you think about it. I feel like when also considering like assuming that like at Hogwarts already, like not a lot of like Voldemort like stuff had happened previously. Like it kind of feels like, I don't know. Because that seems like, yeah, it makes sense because, you know, they're like the lead characters of this story and they're like doing this whole thing. But like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, you can show bravery in small ways, but it just
Yeah.
feels like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think as soon as I said it, I was like, I think I'm wrong. Because, like, yeah, it's the big bravery things, but there's also the small ones, like Neville, like standing up to his friends and stuff like that. Like, that kind
True.
of bravery is especially what they're probably talking about.
Hmm.
In which
What
case,
house
Raph's
would
very
you
good
say
at
that you're in, Jet?
Yeah.
I would probably be Gryffindor, I think. Though a lot of people tell me Hufflepuff, which again, I sort of like, I'm always like, what do you mean by that?
I'm gonna need you to go into detail on this.
Yeah. Not that there's anything,
Like, I'm
not
a
that there's
Hufflepuff.
anything,
You're
right.
like a Hufflepuff. What's that supposed to mean?
It just, not that there's anything wrong with Hufflepuff, but again, my when I think of Hufflepuff, I think of, there is a YouTube video that I think if you search for "I'm a Hufflepuff," it will pop up. But it is like it is shot to be like a university campus commercial, and it shows like, you know, a Ravenclaw girl, and she's like, I'm a Ravenclaw, I'm studious. And then there's a Gryffindor, and they're like, I'm brave, and Slytherin. And then it like slowly pans, and there's this girl who's just kind of like staring at the camera blankly, and they're like, say your line. She goes, I'm a Hufflepuff. And they're like, and then they like, it resets, and then they're like, and then she's like, my mom sews my name in all my clothes. I'm a Hufflepuff. And then like all these just like really weird just stereotypes, I think, and exaggerations of them. And so I was like, so that's what I think of. So anytime someone's like, you seem Hufflepuffish, I'm like, all right. I'm watching you.
I do think Hufflepuff's got the short end of the stick with the movies. They're very underrepresented. They've really just got Cedric for 3/4 of a movie, and then like all the other Hufflepuffs are kind of not cool because it's like the Cedric is their boy and Harry's taking away his thunder. So like all the Hufflepuffs come across as just like jealous, and that's really the only time they're shown in the movies. Where in the books, they are a little bit better written and flushed out and stuff like that, but they are still kind of like the fourth house, unfortunately, just because of the books are centered around Gryffindor, and then like Slytherin's like obviously mostly bad guys, and then Ravenclaw are very helpful to the Gryffindors a lot, and Hufflepuff is also there, but
Yeah. And
that's
then
not
they're there.
Hufflepuff's fault. That's just the point of view of the movies and books, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. So I haven't told you guys this story, but I think of this often when I think of Harry Potter. It's not my story, but a friend of mine, she is a big Harry Potter fan now, but she grew up in a home where like she couldn't read Harry Potter. They didn't want her to read it. And so when she got to college, she was like, oh wait, I can read Harry Potter now. So she started borrowing, this is the funny thing is, so this was in the year that like ebooks weren't really like super taking off yet. So she downloaded or borrowed PDFs of the Harry Potter books. So like imagine scrolling through PDFs on your computer. That's how she read it. And a friend of hers gave her like, I think maybe they had the first books, and then they gave her like a PDF, so she knew like, oh, I can download PDFs in the future when I want to get this book. So she went home for Christmas for Christmas break, and she downloaded, I think it's the fourth book via the internet, downloading it via PDF. And I don't actually, this might be the fourth or fifth book, but all of her friends had told her that book gets darker overall. Is that the fourth book? Is that the fifth book?
Yeah.
What is that?
Around the fourth book, it starts getting quite dark.
Okay. So all of her friends are like, hey, you know, oh yeah, it gets like a little bit more intense. It's a little bit darker when you get to the fourth book. And she's like, okay, let's see how this is. So she's reading it, and she's like, wow, this is like surprisingly really dark. Like I did not expect this to take such a turn. And so she reads all of it. And eventually after, you know, Christmas break, she goes back to school, and they're like, oh, by the way, how are you liking the Harry Potter books? Like, what do you think? She's like, man, like, I'm really enjoying them, but like, wow, that 4th book got so dark. And they're like, oh, really? Like, what was like the dark, you know, what was rough about it? And she's like, oh, you know, like, Ron threw himself off of that building, and then like, you know, like all of this. She starts listing all of these things that they're like, what? and they're like, that doesn't happen in the books. What are you talking about? And she's like, no, I've got it right here. She pulls up the PDF, and they like then scrolled up like back to the cover, like the little inside sleeve. And it was a like 500-page fan fiction that she had read instead of the real book. And so this came up because I was asking her some Harry Potter questions, and she was like, honestly, I'm the worst person to ask because I get confused which was the real book and which was the fan fiction.
Oh no.
So like the middle,
so funny.
I just can't imagine reading, like spending the time in reading like 400 to 500
pages on fan fiction.
She's just reading it and she's like, oh, this franchise is really going downhill. The writing style is completely changed.
Style got real bad suddenly. Unless the fanfic writer was a really good writer.
I mean, right? No Chat GPT then.
No,
so I mean,
true.
I took the time to write all that, which I mean definitely took some of the characters in some weird turns. So I don't know what the writers may be experiencing right now.
They're
but,
okay.
Yeah, I hope they're okay now. But anyway, so that when I think of Harry Potter, I think of that. I should eventually watch all of the movies. As I've told YV, I watched like the first 2 or 3, and then I skipped those, and then I watched the last 2 or 3. So I'm missing a few in the middle.
Skipping the middle is so wild to me.
You would think it would hurt less, because I've heard it about 3 or 4 times now, and it's still awful every time. And I think I have more questions every time.
So you haven't seen like Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince, I'm guessing?
Is that which one is the Triwizard Tournament?
Have seen. So you've seen 1 and 2 for sure. Have you seen Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yes, I have. Is that the 3rd one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then have you seen Goblet of Fire is the Triwizard Tournament?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I have not seen that one. I think, well, you know what's funny is I think I would actually love that one. I think that would end up being my favorite one because it's sort of
really
like
good one.
It's
rival
really
schools. Rival schools are basically like gangs, you know, and I love gangs, and so
they even like presented like gangs.
They are presented very gang-like in the movies. Yeah. And then okay, so Order of the Phoenix is number 5.
What happens in that one?
We can't.
Kind of.
Well, if you can't,
I mean, surely
if you
there's
haven't seen,
spoilers.
if you haven't
I've seen the end.
Yeah,
But, like,
I'm worried
but
about
if
spoilers,
you-
but I think everyone in the chat has seen Harry Potter.
really.
I feel like if they have not seen Harry Potter at this point, then they are probably not interested in it. I would feel like, you know, sort of like Lord of the Rings at this point. Like if you haven't seen
I
it,
only saw Lord of the Rings for the first time about 6 months ago.
Same.
but would you have
Like
would
3
you
months
have
ago.
cared about spoilers 10 months ago?
No.
If I knew I was going to watch it soon, I would have cared about
Sure.
spoilers. But like, obviously,
Sure.
you hear about Lord of the Rings all the time, and also the book's like 70 years old, so
True.
it's not super contemporary. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But anyway, Order of the Phoenix is the one where Harry's struggling with like having visions and stuff from Voldemort.
They have like
That
a
does not sound
secret
familiar.
task force
Yeah,
to try
secret
and
task
defeat
force.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
That's not the movie with like the fetus at the train station, right?
No, that's the 7th one.
That's towards the
Deathly
end.
Hallows Part 2. That's the 8th one, actually.
Fair. What? How many books are there?
It's 7 books, 8 movies. They split the last book into 2 movies.
Right. Okay.
Which they still didn't do a fantastic job on, personally, for me, but that's fine. So you've not seen 4 or 5, apparently.
Yeah, I don't
6 is
think so.
Half-Blood Prince. Have you seen that one?
What happens in that one?
That's the one where they're hunting Horcruxes.
Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1.
No, I'm not going to say the spoiler if you haven't seen it. There's a big spoiler. There's a big thing that happens. But yeah, Harry and Dumbledore are hunting Horcruxes.
I think I have. Isn't there like a room and it's really dark and there's like things flying around in it?
Yes. Correct. When Dumbledore has to drink.
Oh, you're talking about the cave.
Maybe. It could be a cave. A cave is a dark room.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you're confusing it with the Room of Requirement in the 7th movie again.
Maybe I've only seen the 7th movie.
There's like the scene with the potions where Harry's really good at potions because he finds the Half-Blood Prince's potions book with all the amendments in it to be better at potions. And Hermione's like really jealous because suddenly Harry's better at potions.
Clear this up for me. Who is the Half-Blood Prince?
No, that's
Well, if he's finished all of them, then he knows.
No, but he doesn't. Clearly, he doesn't know.
It could be a side character that pops in.
Someone who defected in the later movies.
I still don't think he would know that from the movies.
What? Yeah. Right, I think so.
All right. So, not seen 4, 5, or 6. Just seen the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2.
That's
maybe.
crazy.
Camping and stuff like that, or have you only
What
seen
was
in Deathly Hallows Part 1? It's like them like on the run and camping and Ron
Right.
lead, stuff like that. Have you seen that one?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay. So you've seen 1, 2, and 3, and Deathly Hallows.
I for sure have seen Deathly Hallows. I remember being in. I remember being in theaters for those because my friends wanted to go, so I went with them.
The idea that you were like, wow, Harry Potter, what a magical, lovely Hogwarts. Harry Potter 2, wow, that was a bit spookier, still wonderful and magical. Oh, Azkaban, this serious black guy is kind of interesting. That's gotten a little bit darker. And then you've gone to the 7th movie where there's a big war happening. Voldemort's back, and you've not, like, at once been like, I probably should have gone back and watched these first. There's such a massive jump between what happened in 3 and 1. So much has happened.
I feel like, I filled in the blanks a little bit. It was just, it was sort of, yeah, I'm sure at the time some of it made sense.
Put it in the blank. Voldemort came back at some point. I missed that. That's all I really need to know.
I mean, if they can say somehow, who is it in Star Wars? Somehow
Emperor Palpatine has returned.
Yes, somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah, I feel people hate that. Remember? People don't like that, actually.
No, that is.
That is insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just at the time. Well, the thing is like during the time people were talking about Harry Potter all the time. So I feel like I was hearing little bits and pieces of it, like as I was
fair.
just,
Also, bye, Mary. Sorry, just wanted to.
Bye.
Mary's leaving.
Bye, Mary.
Bye real quick. I suppose that's probably true. You were if it was in the cinemas, you would have been still kind of up to date with things people have said about. We are looking at this like 13 years later.
Did you guys ever do like the Pottermore quizzes and stuff, like when that was a thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Love Pottermore.
That's how I found out what house I was in.
Ah, okay, nice. Yeah, I took that too. I got Gryffindor.
Mine was reaffirmed. I got Ravenclaw. I was always Ravenclaw, then I did Pottermore, got Ravenclaw, and I was like, nailed it.
Everyone was we were sitting at like a campfire at a friend's party, and someone was like, what house is everyone in? Do the Pottermore quiz. So we all pulled them up. And I was like, I think I'm a Slytherin. And then I did the thing, and I was like, I'm a Slytherin.
Love it.
Did you guys do
but
the
now I feel like
one, though?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's pointless.
What? What?
Well, there was a bunch of different ones. Like you get your wand and your Horcrux, and you
I
could
remember
get, like,
doing
your
wand.
Australian house. You could get like your American house.
What?
Stuff like that. Yeah, there's a few by the
What does
end of
that
it.
mean?
Well, there's different schools around the world. So like, there's an American like wizarding school. There's an Australian wizarding school. There's like a.
That in the
there's a few
book?
different wizarding
What?
schools. No, they're not in the books. It's
What I
straight
would
to law.
kill for an Australian Harry Potter. Like,
They exist.
like, but what do you mean?
There people who do though. So there's like a Scottish and an Australian version of Harry Potter where it's like translated to be like Australianisms and Scottishisms and make it more like.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I was saying I would love like a new series based in Australia. Like,
Oh.
that takes place in the Australian houses. That would be dope.
It would be so like R18.
What is? Hold on, I'm blanking. My crikey core is fading. What is? What is the word for like a group of people in Australia that are kind of like redneckish?
Bogan.
What's the word?
Bogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Bogan. I really hope. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I want there to be a Bogan wizard house. That's
They'd
just
be the
like
Hufflepuffs.
I'm gonna. Oh no, they're not gonna be that. They'd be the Slytherins, is what the Bogans would be.
How dare you?
Australian Wizard House. Let me look this up. Wizard School. It's got weird names. Bear with me.
Bearing.
This is just literally about Australia in the Wizarding world.
what are the house names?
Maybe that doesn't have names. I can feel you guys all waiting for me, and I'm not good at this.
No, sorry.
Panic, extra panic.
So, I'm just so like interested in that. Though Kato does bring up a question. Do you mean Patronus or Horcrux?
Yes, sorry, my
Okay.
brain. Patronus. Thank you,
Okay,
Kato.
I was like,
Big
I
Harry
was like,
Potter fan
wait.
here.
What? There's a Horcrux
Yeah,
test?
yeah, yeah. So
I was
what's
like,
the Horcruxes? Mine would be
Which
Bill,
piece
honestly.
of Voldemort's soul are you?
Bill would
I
definitely
actually-
be one of my Horcruxes for sure.
if you had to pick three things, this is a question for both of you. If you had to pick three things in which to make your Horcruxes, what would you choose? What would you split your soul into? You see, I know what some things are, right? This is-
Off the top of my head, Bill for sure. Bill would have to definitely be one of my Horcruxes.
Mhm.
I mean, he put one into Nagini, so I'd probably go Rocky as well.
Mm.
The third, maybe my motorbike.
Oh, that would be dope, actually.
Yeah, but I'll go Rocky, Bill, and my motorbike.
Nice. Good
Something really
choices.
big, as opposed to Voldemort's tiny little things. Man was thinking small.
Ross.
I have
A Horcrux
I have-
already.
like two. No, I've kept like every time I clean my room, I always find two toys that I brought from Singapore when we moved here when I was 10. I have like a really like chewed up, like I've chewed all of the hands and stuff off of it when I was a kid. Action figure of Hulk Hogan, and like I always find it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not throwing you out, and I just leave it in a cupboard somewhere. And I have a Beyblade from when I was a kid.
I
So
was sick of
those would be
Beyblade,
two of
yeah.
them for sure. What would a third thing be? Probably Ghost, yeah. If we're doing pets as well, two toys and
I like
Ghost.
Now, here's my question. So, like, if you put... Okay, so you guys can answer this, because I don't know this. And I don't know if they explain this at all. A Horcrux. Does that make the thing, like, somewhat more indestructible than it normally would be?
Yes. You have
Okay.
to use a special kind of magic to destroy a Horcrux.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I could make a slice of pizza.
Yeah, you can't just. Well, they don't really. Well, there's no food items made Horcruxes, so it's hard to say. Like, if eating it would, it'd probably have a bad effect on someone who eats it. Surely, it's evil magic.
Well, I was wondering if I could make it the Horcrux and then eat it. What would happen?
We should reabsorb that part of your soul, maybe.
Or would it still be digestible?
Yeah, it might block you up and kill you. And then that's the irony, the Horcrux. So like, it's a weird cycle of you dying and not dying. You know what I mean?
I just
So I'm
assumed
immortal.
that like if you made a slice of pizza Horcrux, it would like harden, as if like it became inanimate.
I suppose, yeah.
Inanimate is what I assumed would happen.
Yeah, they are more indestructible. You can only destroy them with specific. I think it's 3 specific things. It's basilisk venom, fiend fire, and the sword of Godric Gryffindor has something in it as well that makes it being able to destroy Horcruxes. I think it's those 3 things, unless the sword absorbed basilisk venom. But basilisk venom and fiend fire, or whatever it's called, are 2 definite ones because they destroy things in the books.
Fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
I found the Australian school, by the way.
Oh, you did? What are they, please?
So it's the Cheshire School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It's somewhere along the coast of southeastern Australia, so you're probably looking between like Melbourne and Adelaide. Oh yeah, southeastern, depending how south, I suppose. Maybe more like Melbourne to Sydney. Actually, they're probably thinking. And the houses are Bunyip, Nargan, Waggle, and Yowie.
Waggle seems like 100% an Aussie.
I do believe they're all indigenous names.
Oh, really?
Bunyip is a town, I'm fairly certain, in Australia.
Oh, is it? Isn't that also a Pokemon? Am I making that up? Bunyip?
I don't know about that one. Bunyip is a town in Victoria, for sure. And Yowie is a type of chocolate. Kinda. We had chocolates called Yowies, and they're kind of like Kinder Surprises. But they're like shaped like a monster kind of thing. It was a TV show as well. Yowies. They were really good.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go. Space Broncos has said it. The sword absorbed basilisk venom when Harry kills the basilisk. Yeah, so I guess it's just... I think there is a third thing, but yeah, venom and fiend fire, or whatever it's called. Are your 2 Horcrux killers.
They don't have, like, for those houses, they don't have, like, descriptions of...
What their people are? No.
Yeah. Oh,
no, I don't think so. It's just history, school information. Yeah. Nah.
Dang. That would be... I just... I want to know. I'm going to make an Australian... What was the name of the... Cheshire?
Cheshire, yeah. Like the English town.
Yeah, I'm going to make a Cheshire, like, wizarding school shirt and bring it to to Australia. And people are going to be like, what is this? Nobody knows what this is. Except for us now. Except for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. My brain.
No, you're good.
Offering.
Okay, so next question. Got to get you guys some more points. Who is each other's favorite band?
Why these is the Killers?
Yeah.
That is correct.
I'll say Bring Me the Horizon for Raph.
Right now, yes.
Ooh.
They just had a new album come out. I'm obsessed.
Way to go. Look at you guys go. And have you guys been to any concerts together?
I've been to a festival.
We went and saw All Time Low as well.
Oh, we did go and see All Time Low as a group. Yeah. Yeah, I almost passed out of that one.
What?
Just not enough water
Just-
and in a confined room with a lot of sweaty
Fair.
people.
Jumping
there's
around
photo-
in a mosh pit.
There's a photo of me and Space Broncos' wife before they were together. When we both had to get out of the like pit area because she was like not doing well either. So I was like, let's go. And like we took a selfie and we're both just drenched in sweat. All bands. Like it's not even like a hardcore. We're like going off to like weightless, you know?
But you guys did say that you're going to go see a
Busted.
WE?
Woo!
And Busted, yeah. AW and Busted, yeah. So concert
Wait.
this year.
Oh, Busted. I don't think I know who that is.
They sing
Year 3000.
Year 3000, Air Hostess,
Crash the Wedding.
Crash the Wedding. They got a fair few
what
bangers.
genre?
Like pop punk, very early.
Okay.
Like boy band.
It's a boy
pop punk.
band.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is this the one that you guys mentioned a while back? That was like
I've sent you the synth pop Night Driver songs from their album.
The worst
were they
band
the ones
pop.
that were in that like they had like the school uniforms?
Yeah, that sounds,
Yeah.
that's what I go to school for. It's the song about wanting to sleep with your teacher.
Miss Mackenzie.
Fair enough. Okay, so that yeah, I don't know who they are. I've never
Give them a listen. They're very fun. Year 3000 is quite popular. The Jonas Brothers covered that as well.
Really? Dang.
They Disneyfied it a little bit by making it a little bit less risky lyrics. But, yeah, Year 3000 is quite popular. You'd know it if you heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're seeing Busted together with Space Broncos November.
Awesome.
And then in February, we're going to AEW to watch wrestling at Suncorp Stadium.
Nice.
So excited.
Speaking of wrestling, I don't know if this will be for points because I feel like this is too broad. It's too broad of a question. Choose like a walk out song. Walk in, walk out. Are they
Ooh.
walking in or are they walking out?
Walk out.
Because okay, they're walking out, but they're also like walking into a place. You know, that's where I'm getting confused.
Well, they're
anyway,
walking out of the back.
Okay, so
They call them entrance songs.
Yeah, entrance.
I think it's-
theme entrance song.
okay, yeah. So I think it's sort of like is the glass half full or half empty? Are you walking in or are you walking out of somewhere? You know?
Yeah.
It's
I
all
mean,
about
technically, we're always
perspective.
walking out into somewhere else, you know.
Yeah, it's a good point. This is a good topic. So choose an entrance song for the other person. I was gonna have you guess like, which song would they choose for their
any
entrance
song,
song?
or like a wrestler's entrance song that already
Like
exists?
any song, but like that you think fits their personality.
I don't know the music well enough that would suit Raph, kind of thing. Like his would be his kind of post-hardcore stuff that he listens to, like BMTH and A Day to Remember and all that sort of stuff. I just don't know their music well enough
Fair.
to pick one for him. Maybe even a Machine Gun Kelly song.
Interesting.
All right, Raph disagrees with that. Yeah, that's my problem. Is the kind of music that Raph would walk out to isn't my kind of music too much, so I don't know what that.
Fair.
But it would be something along those lines. Like imagine like a Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon kind of thing.
I like that. I could see that for sure. Ross.
I quickly started looking at Blink 182 songs.
Oh.
I was thinking like the intro to Feeling This by Blink 182 I feel really
Ooh.
suits
Yes.
YV for like
I'll take
coming
that.
out.
That intro
And I'm
was
like-
outstanding.
And then I was like, but does the rest of the song then sound like an entrance theme? I feel like it doesn't get hyped up enough.
Yeah, it kind of slows down a bit after the once it gets to the verse.
Yeah. I was
think
like,
if
the
you
intro
edited it to
really
skip-
hits, then the
if you
rest
had
of it not great.
No, if you skip the verse and went straight to the chorus after the intro, I think it would be a pretty good walkout entrance theme. Yeah, so I'll
Yeah,
take
we're
it.
doing that.
I'll take it.
Did you guys ever see the movie Warriors? No, Warrior. It's about the brothers.
Iron
Oh.
Claw?
Iron Claw, yeah.
Is it recent or is it older?
It's older.
Oh, okay. No, then. I mean, I didn't see Iron
wait.
Claw.
Wait, hold on. Is Warrior?
Warrior.
It's about like.
Right.
It's called Warrior. 2011 has.
Is that the
Tom Hardy and that other guy who's in things.
Warrior.
You guys haven't seen it? Oh goodness. No. Okay,
Joel
no, don't
Edgerton?
watch it. Don't watch it. We'll watch it when I'm in Australia.
And it's rated
we will.
highly, to be fair. It's got 8 and 84% and stuff.
It's a very good movie.
And
and it's not wrestling. It's about what's
Is it
that thing? MMA.
Oh, okay.
And it's about two brothers who have to like fight each other in the ring.
And it's Australian as well. Joel Edgerton's Australian.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah. That's the other guy that I was trying to figure out. Very good. We'll watch it when I'm in Australia.
Okay.
And weep.
Oh.
It is so good. It is just an incredible movie. I highly recommend for anybody. But yeah, I that's all I'll say about it. But anyway, I will. This is not really a spoiler, but they don't. I mean, they play music for each of the characters as they like are walking out. And one of them has classical music, which it kind of like is a neat little like. It makes them stand out quite a bit. So I feel like even if it's not like a perfect entrance song, or it's like, you know, not what you guys were saying, like it might not quite fit as an entrance song, still sometimes it could work. It gives a flair of something. But
yeah, a lot of wrestlers have classical music to come out to because it can be quite imposing with like the instruments, or it can be quite energetic. Like one of our favorite wrestlers, Bryan Danielson, comes out to Ride of the Valkyries. By
oh really? Oh snap, that's good.
Who is it? Wagner. Yeah, so it's like that.
Oh yeah.
Like that's huge when it comes over a speaker. People explode. So yeah, classical music is more prevalent than you probably expect because it is so catchy and well known in the public conscience, and then like
true,
it does also, like have a good
Austrian
fit.
As well. Austrian wrestler maybe. His name's Gunther. And he comes out to like classical music as well, but like it's an intimidating classical.
Very intimidating. It also helps. He just looks like is he Austrian?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. But he's got that like big German Austrian like vibe to him. Like he's that very serious, imposing. Like he stands there with like his hands behind his back. Like he'll mess you up. So the classical, that imposing, like kind of German Austrian sound to it. Yeah. I'm just gonna grab my charger. I like that. With my Mac, so it's like on 40%.
Important.
A side note: one of my friends was Snapchatting me yesterday, and he was just playing his guitar, and he was like, "I thought you'd appreciate this," and he was just playing like wrestling theme songs on the guitar, and I was just guessing what they were.
I love it. That's so good. I don't know. I feel like my music tastes are very weird, and I feel like I don't know if I have a good like. This would be a good walkout or walk-in song for me. Because it just end up being like, just be like lo-fi or something, and people are like, "What is? This is not. This is not the vibe."
It depends on your character, really. Because if you were coming out,
would I be a heel?
No.
There's 0% chance.
Although some of the best heels are played by the nicest people because it's like such a vast difference from their personality. They know how to like. If you just be the opposite of yourself, you'd be a bad guy. Yeah. So like my favorite, like, well, I don't know if this is a question that's coming up, so I won't. One of my favorite wrestlers is a bad guy, and he's very good at it. But by all accounts, when he's not in character, which is rare, apparently he is a very, very lovely person.
Oh, that's good.
And apparently that is the way. Either the bad guys are extensions of themselves and they're already bad, like kind of not cool people, and they've just made it even more exaggerated for TV, or they're very lovely people and they play a really good bad guy because of it.
I feel
So,
like
yeah.
I would probably if I ended up being like a heel, I'd be like the Team Rocket of heels, sort of like
the comedy heel.
yeah, just be like, oh I got you this time, and then just get launched into the sky.
To be fair, those are some of the best. Like, yeah, I think I don't know if I could picture you as a wrestler straight up, but I think you'd make a good
fair.
comedy heel manager. Like Stokely Hathaway or something. I think you'd pull off that kind of thing. That's,
I've never been in
Is
a
that
fight,
the-
so I don't.
The swerve.
no,
dance?
that's Prince Nana, but I could see him doing a good Prince Nana too.
He
Um,
also said YV's talking about Logan Paul.
Yeah, I don't know if Kiwi's talking about the extension of the character or the nice person outside of it. But I'm thinking it's the extension of the character.
Oh goodness. I have a poor relationship with the Paul brother, because for whatever reason, and it does not make sense to me, but I'll be playing Apex. It's one of the only few like online games that I play, and I always have my mic off, but this has happened maybe around 10 times over the years that I've been playing Apex. Somebody will be like, oh my gosh, it's Jake Paul looking at my username. And I'm like, what? And they're like, and they'll be like, Jake Paul, is that you? And like, I understand, starts with the J, ends with Paul. But like, there's a bunch of letters in between. I don't know. And so anyway, anytime I think of the Paul brothers, I'm always like, I hate this.
What a random thing to have happen to you.
I can't imagine
I
much
know,
worse than being confused with Jake Paul, I'll be honest.
Same.
That's awful.
It has made me like consider changing my username. It's that intense of like a man, I don't like this.
Add some underscores to give some spaces between the J and the K and the Paul.
That's actually not a bad idea. But they'll start filling in the blanks probably. And they'll just
Yeah,
be
they're like, jetpack. Jake!
Jake, it's Jake. It's Jake. Unbelievable. Question. Now scored question. You did bring it up. Who is each other's favorite wrestler?
This is unfair, I feel like, because I say it all the time.
Do you?
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Oh. Twist.
Right now? Or all
Sure.
time?
Maybe all time? Let's do all
I don't
time.
know why I asked that, that made it harder.
All-time favorite wrestler. That's
And you
a
know
toughie.
that we rarely play games. So we might play a game today.
What if we go both? We'll answer both to try and help ourselves a little bit. Like, what's our current favorite wrestler?
Is this a murder? Why am I
Okay.
hearing yes?
I'll
It's
go
a 2-point question then.
Okay.
Current and all time.
I'll go Raf's current would be Roman Reigns. And I'll
Okay.
go his all time. I can't think of an all timer. The Undertaker.
Okay. Ross, are those answers at all correct?
Undertaker's correct.
Hey.
Ooh.
But I'm having like a real debate with myself on if Roman Reigns is correct. I think it is. In my head, I was like, oh, he's gonna get this so easily. It's CM Punk, and then he said Roman Reigns, and I was like, actually, I think he's right.
You know what's funny is CM Punk did not cross my mind once, but I think that's my own biases that I would consider him to be close.
I think it's really close between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. So I'll say, yeah, Roman Reigns can take it.
Excellent. YV knows you so well. He's like, He knows you better than you know yourself.
Literally, he knew the
really
answer when
stuck-
I didn't.
I was really stuck on the all-timer. I was trying to think of older wrestlers, and I remembered he told a story once of how he went and saw WWE in Singapore when he was a kid, and he saw the Undertaker live, and he loved it. That's what popped into my head. So I was like,
That's awesome.
Undertaker.
The Undertaker's there, and The Rock was also there. So I've technically seen The Rock in real life.
Dang.
From like
Dwayne?
Rosette, but still, he was there.
In my head, in the story, you've always been right on the barricade when you tell the story. You were right there watching the Undertaker walk past.
We were like sort of behind the entranceway, so like we'd watch them come out,
Okay.
and we'd be behind them.
I
But
love it.
Wyvies would be MJF currently, and all time is so tough.
Hang on, let me get an answer first for all time real quick so it's fair.
Give you a chance to answer.
Okay.
Raph told me that Undertaker gave him a high five as he walked by. Says Broncos.
Just broke character the first time in 20 years to high five with one kid in Singapore.
Even posed for a selfie real quick.
He pulled out his flip phone.
Yeah.
Wearing like the hat and the coat.
I have an all-time favorite I've gone with.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay. Certainly a choice.
It was
Way off, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. So current favorite is definitely MJF. That's
Okay.
and that's the wrestler I was talking about a moment ago, who's supposedly very, very nice when he breaks character on the occasion that he does. But all-time
nice.
favorite, I went with Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, but I was a tough
That's-
choice between that and Eddie Guerrero.
Wild decisions.
Really?
Didn't you start watching wrestling after Eddie Guerrero passed away?
No.
Huh?
I was watching wrestling in 2004, 2005 is when I started.
I
Yeah.
thought you told me like 2010.
No, I was not. Yeah, no, I was wrestling. I started around 04, 05 and watched till about 2007 and 8, and then I didn't start again until when we started like talking about it more. Yeah, in 2012, 2013. That's why I missed like the whole summer of punk and everything. Didn't see any of that.
That's right, you missed the summer.
Yeah,
of
yeah. That's why I'm not a punk fan, because I just didn't see any of his time.
fun. Yeah. Kato said Benute.
Yeah, that's why I laughed when I was thinking about all-time favorite. There was a little bit I chuckled there because I really wanted to say Benute. But no,
It's actually really cool.
Ray and Eddie.
I never think about it, how like wrestling is so like international, but like it is.
Yeah.
It's neat that so much of it is, you know.
I'm
everywhere.
liking everyone else's responses as well.
Bronson
Too much
Reed.
to bear. Bronson Reed is a
LA
wild
guy.
call.
Sandman all time from Keefe is funny, but also not out of character for Keefe.
True.
I don't know any. I my wrestling knowledge is so limited that I don't even have a favorite.
It's I
wrestler.
can't remember who I was saying it to the other day, but it is quite like it's like an oddly niche but massive thing. Like
Mhm.
everyone knows of wrestling because obviously it had its big period in the 90s and the early 2000s with like Stone Cold and The Rock and all that sort of thing. So everybody knows about wrestling in kind of a very, very general sense. They've heard of WWE and stuff like that, but to actually like, it's quite a niche thing to really pinpoint on and want to talk
It's
to
like-
people about.
I feel like wrestling is. I feel like wrestling is to sports as reading mangas to books. True or false?
Look, it does follow along the line of what I was going to say, which is like you do get quite defensive when you start explaining to new people that you like wrestling. So it's really, that's a good comparison because I imagine it's the same for people who read manga, where you're like, I read manga, but not in a weird way. Like it's cool actually, and I enjoy. Like you know what I mean? The same wrestling as you're explaining to people. You're like, it's actually quite cool when you get into it. And you understand the intricacies, alright? It's not weird and nerdy.
I've never tried to convince anyone. I'm always just like, yeah, I watch wrestling, and they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like WWE, and they're like, oh,
What do
okay,
you
and I'm
mean?
like, yep. like, that's it. I'm not gonna say anything else.
My problem is they do it so publicly. Like I'll sit there at work watching wrestling on Thursdays. Like everyone, like my last job as well. Everybody knew that Thursday is wrestling day for me. So like my last job, we usually all have lunch together in like the common eating area at that business. And on Thursdays, I would go and sit by myself with my laptop and watch wrestling. And like new people would be like, "Oh, is his wifey not like joining us?" And they were like, "No, it's wrestling day." He's sitting there watching wrestling, and that's what I do. And I still do it now, except like I just sit at my desk because it's not high stakes. So I'm just sitting there watching wrestling. My boss will walk past, see what's happening on wrestling. I'll talk you through it.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm quite publicly a wrestling fan. So I get asked a lot of questions about it and such. So I do have to kind of defend myself quite often, especially to like people who wouldn't have a clue. Like, you know, it's like people who are 10 to 20 years older than me, and so have no idea.
I totally understand
for that shit.
Thank you.
It's such an annoyingly apt like comparison.
I was trying to think of like what's a niche like group of hobbyists that would be like still like legitimate, but like not. It's still sort of like, oh, okay, you read manga, okay.
Yeah, a smaller part of an entertainment business that's kind of
right
known about. And Keefe is right. It's so fake is the thing that you hear the most, and you have to explain the difference to people between fake and storytelling.
Right.
And like the comparison is just movies and TV shows. Like people are like, oh, but they're not hitting each other, and you're like, yeah, neither are the Avengers. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like. This is a stage show. I'm watching a stage show. Do you go to Hamilton and get confused when people aren't getting shot for real? Like, what's going on?
Fair, yeah. Yeah, it's just a different expression of all of those.
It's a live action play is what it is. And weekly, it just happens to be on TV. You can go see it in person like we're going to. It's a show.
I have a question for that. But one, Space Broncos, thank you for the bits. Do you ever rewatch like wrestling moments or shows or anything?
I used to more when I had the WWE network. I'd go back and watch old pay-per-views and stuff that I watched when I was younger or like had very classic matches I'd never seen before. I don't much nowadays. I might get up like an old clip and stuff to show people what I'm talking about. If I'm like talking about this old spot that happened or something really cool that happened back in the day. But no, for me, mostly now it's just weekly stuff that I watch. I keep up to date with the modern stuff that I watch.
That's fair.
A side note as well. Like YB doesn't really like CM Punk at all right now. But the thing that I always find so funny about it is that if he watched WWE in 2011, when CM Punk's, it's called the Summer of Punk in wrestling, is what it's referred to as. It was like WWE was super PG and it was really boring. It was a really bad time for wrestling. And then like CM Punk came in and he's like a punk that was like not super jacked. He was kind of short, was straight edge. And like his entire character was that like he was anti everything that the brand was at the time. And like that's why the people loved him so much, because it was he's different. He's not the same. And I was like, if YB watched it when it was happening, he would have loved him.
That is the irony of it, that CM Punk in his prime probably was exactly the kind of thing I would love. Problem is, I missed it, and I've seen CM Punk now, and he sucks. I do not enjoy his character, I don't enjoy him as a person, and I don't enjoy any of his wrestling. So when I saw CM Punk, I was like, this is not the man that's been described to me. I saw CM Punk very early days in WWE when he was in ECW, and he was just like this kind of generic, kind of good talking guy, but he was on ECW, so I didn't watch much of him. And then I saw bits and pieces when I wasn't a fan, here and there, and then I've seen his return, and I'm like, that's not my guy.
For reference, CM Punk took like 7 years off not wrestling, and then has come back in like his 40s. So it's like he's not really the same.
And he came back to the company that I watch. So like Rafa and I watch different companies.
Right.
And he came back to the company that I watch, and I try my best to not see behind the scenes stuff because it's a show. I don't want to know what's going on behind the scenes, same as I don't care about what's happening behind the snes on a television show. like Scrubs or The Office or something
Fair,
like that.
yeah.
That doesn't enhance my viewing pleasure. I just want to see what's canonical. But there was so much backstage drama happening while CM Punk was there. It was unavoidable to the point where they were having giant fights, IRL, like proper fist fights backstage after shows and before shows on occasion. It was impossible to not have that bleed into the product. So it was really affecting the stuff that I watched. And so that's especially why I don't like him, because it was ruining my viewing experience of my show that I really enjoyed.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't have any. He had like a few quite good matches in AEW, but they were usually because the person he was wrestling, one of them was MJF. He had like a series with MJF, and MJF made it amazing. And so he had a few good things on camera, but it was usually because the other person I quite enjoyed, and then off camera it was just a mess. So I do not care for CM Punk. Whereas like Raph loves him, which is 100% fair. Like
he's back in WWE now as well, and he just put on like a 5-star match. So I think he's now trying to prove to the other company that they made a mistake getting rid of him. So he's been on top of his game since he came back.
Which can both can be true at the same time, you know, like they had to get rid of him. He had to go. But like the fact that he might be using that as like a "you shouldn't have got rid of me" thing is like kind of funny in the sense that like, no, you had to go, but it's great that you're like now doing well elsewhere.
He also said way back that he wanted to go after the original altercation. He was like he told the owner of the other company to let him go. He was like, fire me or let me quit, and the owner was like, no, you're staying, we're gonna make this new show with you and like put you on your own thing. And CM Punk was like, this isn't going to work.
So he did the best he could, and they spent a lot of money on him. It's a whole thing. We shouldn't just like focus on wrestling.
No, it's great. Yeah, I love it. It's like, again, it's like watching, hearing people talk about their favorite manga. It's just like
back to the manga.
And like, honestly,
did you read?
Just as long. We're up to issue 1,400. It's still going.
Keefe asks if you guys had the money to buy an official wrestling belt, which belt would it be?
Any of all time, or
probably
current wrestling belts, Keefe?
Mine would be the World Heavyweight Championship.
The old school one, the
big gold one.
Yeah, that probably would be close to my choice. If it was all time, maybe the big gold belt. I used to like the tag titles as well. The SmackDown tag titles.
The ones that had a bit of blue in it.
Yeah, a bit of blue on them. They were gold with a bit of blue. They looked pretty clean to me, and also that was like prime me watching WWE, and Rey Mysterio and Batista, and Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were champions with those belts. So I did quite like the tag titles too. Modern, I'd go for the AEW World Championship. That belt is big and pretty.
I want to see that.
Also, YV and I and one of our other friends used to get together to watch wrestling, and I used to always bring up that I would love for us to buy like the $400 like real replica belt, and then we'd do predictions of who was going to win each match of a card, and then whoever got the most right would get to keep the belt until the next event.
That's honestly such a fun idea.
Like that. But no one else wanted to go in on buying the belt.
Yeah, well, we were a lot poorer back then. If you'd brought it up nowadays, it'd probably be a little bit more likely to happen, I think. But back then, we didn't have a lot of money, and you wanted us to all spend about $150 each on a belt that we might get to hold for a month if we're good at predicting, or we'd never see for 4 to 5 months of the year. So that was kind of a hard sell.
This could have been your sisterhood of traveling pants.
Yeah, it's a common thing with the wrestling channel, YouTube channels we used to watch. They made their own belt, and then they would do that. They would do predictions for who would win the matches, and then whoever got the most right, but they would hold on to the belt. But they're on YouTube, so like you see the belt all the time because they hold it in all the videos. Whereas it would just be at the person's house for a month.
It would sit on that table right there.
Well, I don't know where mine was sitting. I guess head of the bed would be pretty funny. Like, you just got this belt sitting on the top of the bed.
You guys need to do. I feel like there's still something you could do with that there.
Well,
Like
the problem is
maybe
now we watch different things, so we can't really predict each
Right.
other's shows. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about WWE anymore.
Sure.
And Raph wouldn't be able to predict anything to do with AEW.
But maybe there's like a stream thing you guys could do where it's like whoever wins a certain thing or whoever, I don't know what game you guys would play. That's the thing, is the genres are different. Y'all's tastes are different in games, it seems, for the most part. So
interesting.
We'd have to find like a middle ground game, and then it's like every couple of months, maybe once a quarter, you guys do like a big stream
Championship
where it's
stream.
like, yeah, and then whoever wins that gets that thing for the next quarter, and so then it just sits in the background of your thing, or maybe a couple of months or something. Maybe it's not quarter, but
yeah. Well, there are wrestling video games.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That would honestly be
just
hilarious.
note that down.
Yeah.
Twitch
That would-
world title.
That would be so much fun.
What if we made our own belt?
Oh,
With the Twitch logo and stuff, with a purple belt strap.
And then we could have our own side plates.
Ooh. And then you could invite like other people to do it as well.
Yeah.
that would
Be a
be
traveling belt. It'd be very heavy.
Oh yeah, they're not light belts. There's a reason monthly people hold these belts.
fair. That would be. I would tune into all of those. I think that could be a
would be
reoccurring thing.
I like that idea quite a lot.
You need also. You guys could have like, I don't know how you guys would do it. But you can choose your entrance sounds. Like make it a big, like when you're starting the stream, make it a big thing. I'll
so
record a
excited.
promo for you guys.
Yeah. I think that's actually a fun idea.
Yeah.
We genuinely might look into that.
One Gilmore, hello, welcome in. Let's see. One, I apologize. All of the redeems should be paused. They're not for some reason. That's on me. I'm refunding all of your points for today. Because none of them should be on. None of them are working because I got rid of them, actually. But, all right, a different question on a different note entirely. Which emoji best represents the other person?
I'm gonna get my phone up now and look at the emojis.
Sorry, Gilmore.
Best emoji represents the other person.
If you make it out of cardboard, you can post it to each other after the games.
Oh,
That'd be funny.
we live like 10 minutes from each other, Keith.
If it was just between us, we could easily do the real thing.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna get other people involved and ship it around,
Are we just talking about the faces or like all emojis?
any emoji.
Oh gosh, there's like 10,000.
I hope
fair.
that YV
There-
picks
there are
the
some
same
new ones.
emoji as me.
There's some new ones coming out that I'm excited about. I think I saw there's a bags under eyes emoji, which I think is going to be my new mascot.
I have a joke answer so far,
Same.
and I'm hoping it's the same one as Raph.
I think it will be.
All right, I have both of mine.
You both
Okay.
yours?
Yeah, I've got both.
So like which one do you think you would be?
No, as in what I
Right.
have the ones for Raph.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you chose two?
I've chosen two. I've chosen a joke one and I've chosen the real one.
Oh, I see.
And I'll
Perfect.
comment
That's great. And
in
you do the
chat
same
what
with
they
us.
are.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good
That way we
call,
can see them
actually.
properly.
What would you say you're doing with them?
He's posting them in the
God,
chat.
Hang on. Mute. I'll post them in the chat so that we can see them instead of having to describe them.
Ah.
No, actually, wait. You know what would be great before you do that? Are they faces or are they?
I don't want to describe anything just in case it spoils it.
Okay, I was going to say if they are a face emoji to make the face. Because I think that would be hilarious.
I don't
But-
think you're so loud.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
You gonna post your joke one?
We'll post the joke one at the same time because I do feel like it's the same one.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Is there an inside joke there?
Yeah,
or...
it's a wrestling thing, and it's like our mini group kind of thing. So one of my favorite tag teams at the moment is called the Acclaims, and it's pushing the boundaries for your chat, your stream. But
no, you go ahead.
They just their way of like, I don't know, showing affection for each other is they scissor each other. So
oh right. Yeah.
That's the emoji we have for scissoring in our.
Excellent.
Me and our other friend at gym greet each other at gym every single day like that when we see each other. And there's kind of like 100 people. We'll just walk up to each other and we'll just like scissor each other real quick. He's been asked about it at gym. There was one time apparently.
Hilarious.
And the way our gym's set up is there's like a floor and then there's an upper mezzanine area where like treadmills and stuff are. And
fancy.
We did it. And he told me later that as he was leaving, this girl came down. She was like, "Hey, I saw you and your friend do like a weird thing." And he's like, "Don't worry about it."
Don't worry.
There was
about
once
it.
where we had like a mutual friend that like was a friend, but like we don't see very often, and they were there, and we did it. And she looked at us and she was like, "I'm so uncomfortable right now." And I was like, "It's our thing."
You get a reaction from people who are like, that happened as well. He was sitting next to another guy from gym and we scissored. And then the guy, I like, just was like, we fist bump each other when we see each other. And he was like, "Please don't do that with me." I'm like, "You're gonna fist bump me. You wish you guys did it, buddy."
Oh man. Okay, so then what is the
real one?
Yeah.
Alright. Post at the same time?
Sure.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Wait. Is that?
I
love
know
it.
what that is.
It's the king emoji.
Oh, that's very cute.
For whatever reason on Chrome, like it's not. It looks more of like a tiara type
That's
crown.
hilarious.
Yeah, but I love it. I mean, to be fair, you guys are both kings, so you know, it works. And yeah, I mean, obviously, for those that don't know, Wipe, you've played El Football, correct?
Yes, yeah. For about 24 years, I played soccer. Football.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
And Ross has been
Could've
a king
gone pro.
for almost as long, so.
Could've gone pro. Not even close.
Wasn't for that hamstring.
Oh yeah. It wasn't for those paper hamstrings. Could have gone pro.
Is how okay, I mean, how good were you?
Not that. No. So it's gonna. The highest division I played in here would have been second, third from top in Queensland.
Okay.
Which still is like, yeah.
I mean, that's pro to me.
Better
That's
than
pro to me.
average, I'd say, but not
Okay.
like there's no chance of me going pro.
Me with that attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So better than average, probably, I'd say. I had some I used to be very, very fast. And I was just an attacker, so like you could put through quite a long through ball, and odds on I would get to it first. And also why I was quite good in rugby league, because you just kick the ball and I would sprint. I was a sprinter when I was young, so yeah, I'd say modestly better than average, but nothing fantastic.
One, dead set hello. Two, wait, there was something I was gonna ask you. Something about soccer, football, maybe. Wait for it. It's coming. It's not. There was something you said there.
Sprinting.
Sprinting.
Second, third, Queensland. Through
football.
ball. Attacker.
There was. But I don't know. It'll come back to me, and I'm sure I'll exclaim with it.
Message
but
me
I did
later
have.
if it's after stream.
Oh no! Oh, I wasn't a question. I was gonna say we do know based on from our Power Wash Simulator stream, you did mention that like you were really good at getting into people's heads. I guess that was. I felt like when you were talking about that was your highlight.
Believe it or not, I can be kind of annoying. And I do know how to use that to an advantage on a football field as well. So naturally annoying person. I've been told a lot.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I did not accept that. This is
Space
my
is
channel.
Here, Kratos here, Raph here. These people who know me IRL.
Muting your source. This is my channel, which means I'm the only one who can be self-deprecating. So
it's fine. I can weaponize it. Is more. He's right. See, Kato.
I don't believe it.
It can be weaponized though, for psychological against opponents on a sporting field. So yes, that was also one of my strengths. Is I could, and like not always. It usually wasn't in like a super, I don't know how you describe it, like malicious way. It was more. Sure. My whole rule had always been like it is still a game. Like the minute the whistle went, you're friends, even if you're not friends. Like your opponents, but like the minute the whistle goes, respect, shake hands. It was all fun. That hasn't always happened. People get upset. They don't take. That people don't see it the same way, stuff like that. But usually, it was more just a bit of self-doubt is what I'd always go for. I really enjoyed making teammates turn on each other. It was always a lot of fun because you are teammates, but like you don't always like. I've had teammates who I'm just not friends with. I don't like them as people, but we worked really well together on the football field. And so like you always have those kind of relationships. So like. The main one that I always just found funny because I was a striker, so I'd be standing there with a defense most of the game, and you're around them for 90 minutes, and if they mess up, someone like might yell at them, which is super normal. Like you get yelled at by your teammates. The whole point is that it's not a problem. Your teammates, like who cares? It's in the moment. People get emotional, but you just kind of needle them, so they'll yell at you, and you're like, "You gonna let him talk to you like that?"
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty uncool of him, eh? Like he's just yelling at you in front of everyone. Stuff like that to really just make them that little bit of, yeah, screw that guy. How dare he like yell at him? And they yell back at them and you're like, that was good point. Like, yeah, you really and then like if they happen to switch or you like drift out somewhere else towards that player, then you might like talk smack and be like, you guys are I wouldn't agree. Like, he said for you to do that. I wouldn't have done that. Like, just really, that was my favorite. Just a bit of self-doubt and a bit of, so like pulling the thread of their emotional friendships and stuff like that. It can be quite entertaining.
Now, Raph, can you confirm or deny, has YV ever used that on you at any point? And Broncos, thank you for the bits.
I don't. No, he hasn't.
Okay.
I never do that sort of thing on purpose to people.
One of my friends does do that though. Whenever we're playing Call of Duty, because there's me and one other friend. The other friend used to be a lot better than me at Call of Duty. Now I'd say we're probably about the same level. Yeah. Like we're as good as each other. And our other friend will always be like, Tom, I can't believe Raph's better than you now. I can't believe he's so much better than you. God, our other friend will lose his mind about it. And then there's like a bit of like a competition between us for like the next 3 hours of who can come first on the team.
That's why it's good being not great at Call of Duty. You just go in there for the vibes. I'll get annoyed sometimes, but like it's just let those two carry us and we'll just help. And they can stress about who's better and you just sit there going, I'm not the best and I'm fine with that.
You see, that's funny. I not stressed, but I'm very much aware of like, oh gosh, I'm not helping the team. I am a hindrance to what's happening here. So I feel like that's why I just stay out of COD. I know I'm not good at it. And I've played it before, I had some friends that was the only game they liked. They used to play Apex, but then like they kind of shied away from there, and I just stuck with it. And then I joined them for COD, and gosh, so bad at it. I don't know. I don't have like the twitchy reflexes to like be good at it. But
Yeah,
I've
it's
said
a
I've
very
told.
reflex heavy game.
The thing with like a Call of Duty though is that like you can play the game modes like hardpoint or domination where you can still have a role even if you're not going to be the one getting all of the kills. Like jump on
Sure.
that B flag to capture it or stay on the
Yeah.
hard point to get us some more points. And it's like you're just the person that plays the objective and everyone else can worry about keeping the other team away from the objective or whatever. And like everyone has a role still in those objective based modes.
The problem is that I'm the role that's like in a war movie, like the person who's like it's always a character that you feel like kind of sympathetic for. Like they're like, oh, this guy's really like nice, he's really trying, even in like a, you know, especially if it's like, I don't know if you guys watched Reacher, but there was a character that was like, oh goodness, this would be me. But there was in season, well, never mind. I can't say that because it's a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, there in a lot of movies, there is a character. This is unrelated to Reacher. Don't think about it. In a lot of movies, they will introduce a character that's like very like, oh, even in a war setting, this guy just seems like a cool guy. Like he's really nice. He's very kind. Dead. Like they kill him immediately. He's the reason why they're fighting for whatever now. They're like, do it for so and so. That's me. I think I am the person that's like, you know, oh no. But I think part of it also,
love Reacher.
it was good. I really liked it. I thought it was very good. What was I gonna say? Oh, though I will say, hold a side note, and for people who haven't seen Reacher, this will mean nothing to you, but season 2 of Reacher, and if you saw this, Raph, maybe you can confirm or deny. Have you seen Reacher, YV?
No.
Okay. Season 2 of Reacher is super close to being an anime. And my reason for that, or one of the things that clued me in on that, is every character in season 2 has a catchphrase. And for some reason, they have decided to try to get those characters to say their catchphrase in every episode. There is like, there will, I can't remember any of them now, but like Reacher had a thing that was like, some kind of generic, like, I don't know. He had a thing that he would say every episode. Then he has this friend who he's like, have I told you that you're really smart? And then her response would always be like, not often enough, or I can't remember what it was. It's some kind of very like sassy response. They say that out of like 8 episodes, they say that maybe 6 out of the 8. And I was like, this is an anime. Prove me wrong.
Because keep also going back to this.
Yeah, they keep doing it every episode. It also is very like almost over the top how like how strong the character is, or like how they get away with. I don't know. It's just,
I always thought that in Reacher in every season. And I was like, he is a superhero. This man is not a real person. He's just a superhero. It's like he's 8 feet tall. He's super jacked, but he's also super agile and very fast, and nothing seems to hurt him ever. I'm like, he's not real.
There's also like, I feel like there's a weird part of the show where the bad guys can't help but compliment Reacher as they're talking about him. They'll always be like, yeah, the super strong guy, or like, yeah, we gotta focus on the big strong one. Like they're always describing him as like, just, I don't know, they never either know his name or whatever, but they're always just like slightly
compliments.
Yeah, it's just like, what's happening here? But
Ainsley said, I forgot about that Reacher show. Cringe. How dare you, Ainsley?
I think she's cringing about the anime thing you were talking about. How that's
fair.
It came through at different times.
Fair. It's a pretty decent show. You know. Anyway, if you're looking for something to watch, it's pretty decent. But anyway, I had said, I actually, Raph and I played some Apex yesterday, and I think I was like, I've thought about like, and honestly, we had this thought coming up with the stream today, where I was like, okay, I need to find a game that everyone kind of likes. And that is so difficult because you guys have different tastes. I have different tastes in games. And so I'm like, but one day we're going to find the perfect game for all of us is going to release. And that'll be a sweet day because then I can just
offline platforming pixel shooter.
Oh, goodness. I need to hire a game dev to start making that right now. Okay. Do you, with your piece of paper, I need you guys to either have 2 sheets of paper, one with a Y on it, one with the R for Ross or Ref, or you can do like front and back. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me when you're done.
Yeah. No, that took 2 seconds. It's okay.
I want to give you plenty of time. There's no rush here.
Oh no, I ripped my paper.
Oh.
You see, this is why we waited. Good
night, mate.
What was I gonna say? We are going to do a who is most likely. So like basically I'll say a thing. Who is most likely to do this? And then you will
Oh, hold it up.
yes.
Okay, I need to make these letters way bigger.
Did you just write the letter Y and R?
I thought it was
in
like
the
a
lines?
scoring type of thing. Okay,
Oh,
let's
no.
hang on a second.
I was like, how did he do that so quickly?
He's like, I'm done. I already had it. He already
I was
has.
so like, yeah, it took 2 seconds as well. This is what I'm talking about, the annoying thing, hey? It's
No. Whatever. Neither of you are annoying. You guys are both wonderful.
I was talking to people about us playing Apex the other day as well, Jet.
Oh, really?
Well, literally yesterday after we finished playing Apex.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I was playing Apex today. It was really good. And
Oh, good.
everyone was like, Apex is so great. Are the servers still good
Oh, really?
in Australia, or is it a dead game? And I was like, I think it might be a dead game because we were playing on the Tokyo servers.
It's we were talking about this yesterday while we were playing, but I have another Aussie friend who plays Apex. I actually met him through playing Apex, and he was on my Oregon servers. That's we don't have servers here in Alaska, so the closest one is oh, perfect. Oh, look at you. Filled in your letters too. Unbelievable. But anyway, he was just like he plays on Oregon servers. And I was like, why are you on our servers? And he was like, oh, the Sydney servers are just so sweaty. He was like, I play on them every once in a while, but they're like just the sweatiest servers. So I actually do a lot better, even with like lag. He does better on the Oregon servers than he would on, and he like carries me a lot. So he's wonderful. When am I planning to visit Oz? I don't have it's just whenever we get the goal. So whenever. That's it. There's no real, we've been fundraising for the entire year, so it'll just continue going forever.
Is that just from like this year?
Yeah, we started it I think in December of last year.
Wow. Okay. I thought it was a bit longer than that. That's crazy. That's what a nice
yeah. Yeah. It has been it's been very wonderful. We've had a lot of, many generous people help me get closer to the goal. We're beyond 50% now, which is awesome. And one of these days I will be over there. I apologize, probably weeping constantly, because I will be when I run into Raph, weeping. When I run into YV, weeping. just constantly. Right. Big stream meetup. Oh, for sure. I mean, my plan is pretty much like, I'm not going just to like sightsee. I'm only going to Queensland, but I will be there to just hang out with people pretty much. There's a few things I want to do. I want to hold a koala. I want to, obviously I want to have some good food. I have some, I have some thoughts there, but I want to, so I want to hold a koala. Was there something else? Probably eat some Tim Tams. I'm sure that's on the list.
Get a snack from Bunnings.
Oh yeah, whatever that means. I want to do that.
That sentence must be so gibberishy for Australia. Get a snack from Bunnings. I still have like questions on what that what is. I mean, I know what it is, but like, what is it? Like, why do people do it? Is it
going to
good?
be so underwhelmed?
It's fundraising.
No. Yeah. It's gonna be wonderful. My hopes are so high.
My girlfriend's currently in Japan right now on like a school trip, and they did like 3 or 4 Bunnings sausage sizzles to like fundraise to do this
really?
Trip. Yeah.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
You contact your local Bunnings and you're like, we want to fundraise for this thing, and Bunnings goes, all right, you're booked in for this Saturday, and then you just rock up, put up a tent, cook some sausages and sell them to like everyone that's coming to Bunnings to buy like appliances. Like
appliances.
I don't know why I went with appliances. I forgot the other word.
It's a hardware store. Just for anyone who's not aware of Bunnings.
Do they have them every day?
No, only weekends.
Okay.
Yeah. So Saturday.
Okay.
But yeah, we did it when I was in high school. I was in the rugby league team that went to like an inter-school competition. It's a big East Coast of Australia wide competition that high schools do, and we went to Bunnings and did a sausage sizzle to raise some money for, I don't know if it was jerseys or travel or something, but yeah.
Also, okay, because I do think I've seen these before, but remind me, is it like it's like in a hot dog bun, right?
No. So like famously no. It's literally a slice of bread. With a sausage on it. Not not like a hot dog sausage either. Like it's a straight up proper.
Okay, just a sausage.
Just
a sausage.
But
Yeah.
Thinner.
Yeah.
It's a proper sausage on just a slice of bread. And if you want onions, you have some fried onions as well dropped on there. And then your choice of sauce, and that's all it is. It's wonderful.
Fair. No, I think that's gonna be delicious. I think it'll be great. You're gonna see a side of me that's just like the wonder, the childlike wonder of me being like, oh, this is the best.
The people at Bunnings gonna be like, what's wrong with that guy? We'll be like, he's American. He's having a great time.
You also have to go on the Scooby-Doo roller coaster at Movie World.
Oh right. I said only if Wivey goes with me.
You'd have to really just. I'd have to be worth something, honestly. I don't know if
Hater and I will have a great time, and then you two can be terrified together.
We'll hold hands and
100%.
Break, and I don't know.
I don't like roller coasters. Wivey doesn't like roller coasters, so I would need the comfort of a friend to be able to do that. I've never gone on a roller coaster, so that would be my first one. But like, I don't like heights. I don't like.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that with the Scooby-Doo one. It's in a room and it's dark, apparently. It's an indoor coaster and it's dark.
At Disney World, I have gone on a few that are like not roller coasters, but they're rides. And even if they have like a little bit of a dip, I'm like, oh no.
That's what does me too. It's the feeling of falling and the uncontrollable. I'm not in control of the roller coaster. I've stand by. If I got to choose, if I was at the front and you got to choose the speed, I would be at full tilt, just like roller coasters go. But that's because I'm in control. It's genuinely the only problem is that I'm not in control of the coaster. But if I was in control, I'd be going the same speeds they do go at. I'm not in control, so that's the problem.
I just don't want to die, you know.
I've seen Final Destination. I can't do it. I don't know.
Goodness. Do you know how many times if I see a truck with the wooden pole things on the back, or I guess they're just trunks. They're just trunks. Yeah. They're just trees that have been chopped down. I am like, great. This is how I go. Goodbye, everyone. We've all seen this scene before.
I switch lanes. immediately.
Yeah, this is not. I get off the highway. I'm like, this
You're
is-
like, well, I guess I'm not going to where I was going today. Sorry, I can't come to the wedding. There was a lumber truck on the highway, and I had to turn around.
I'm not going out like that. But no, there's going to be a lot of things that I'll want to do. I will say, like, I've watched some videos on Quokkas. They are very cool. Also, wombats. Wombats are kind of adorable.
Yeah, they've got a roly-poly vibe to them.
Yeah, if I could hold a wombat, I would be okay with that. I don't know. It depends on the zoos. Also, I've heard that, unless this has changed, the something pines.
Lone pine?
Yeah, koala sanctuary. Supposedly they changed the rules that you can't hold the koala anymore.
I still think that was just a COVID thing.
I don't know. I don't know, but it made me very sad. Unless they went back on it, but
I'm looking up right now. Bear with me.
because I would like to hold a koala, but you know, like if I have to settle for a wombat or something, I'll do that. You know,
Maybe you
wombats are my
can't
favorite
anymore.
animal. They're adorable.
We have to go to the Australia
koala
Zoo.
moment and koala close up. You'll have the chance to engage with a koala while it relaxes in a tree, feel the texture of its fur, and watch as it munches. Yeah, I guess you can't hold them anymore. You just get to like pat them, which honestly,
I mean,
they got claws. You don't want to hold it anyway.
yeah, I am a little afraid that. I think I've mentioned this before, that I do sometimes think of scenarios just to, like, you know, and anticipate different things. Like, if I'm gonna have a conversation with somebody, I think of all of the different ways the conversation can go and all that sort of thing. So in a similar way, I have considered what would happen if I held a koala. In some ways, it could go just wonderfully, and I have a new best friend for life. The alternative is that it is threatened by my beard, and it then it sees me as a threat, and something wild happens, and I don't know. I don't know if koalas are known to be aggressive and or violent, but I'm preparing myself for a scenario where I am mauled by said koala.
That's
So-
more of a drop bear thing. So yeah, you don't want to worry. You don't have to worry about that too much. I've looked it up though. Apparently, Australia Zoo you can hold a koala. So
Ooh,
might have to go
okay.
for a trek up the sunny coast so you can hold your koala. It's only like
Yes,
a
please.
hour and a half drive from where we are. 2-hour drive.
Done.
So
Done. But yeah, there's plenty I want to do. Bunning, snag. Someone mentioned fairy bread. I know that's
easy.
probably. Yeah, I want it. I'm sure I could make it here, but that's not. I
No,
don't
it's
think
not the
that's
same.
like. No,
your butter
it's not.
and your bread and everything about it's different. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I've had, luckily Daz sent me a care package of Australian treats, and that had Vegemite.
Yep.
And I've had Vegemite on toast. I've actually used it a couple times for other things, but I also want to have it there. I feel like it'll be different there. If I have an Aussie prepared for me.
You got to add the heat and the stuff. Like it's all the environment really adds to the Vegemite experience.
It's true. I had Milo's once. I feel like it'll be different there. But I just have a lot of, hopes and dreams. But a lot of them are going to be just spending time with people. I think that's really all I want to do. And then it'll just be wonderful. So you guys are going to just have just some little guy following you around for the time. Oh yeah. I'll pick fights with people, or like not pick fights, but I'll protect you guys from if we go out somewhere and the fight breaks out. Don't worry, I got you.
It's like that South Park episode with old mate fighting around the world.
Yes. So it'll just be a super fun time. But anyway, that'll be the trip. Whenever it happens, again, I've told people know this on stream. People have been here for a while. I'll cry in video games. I've cried multiple times on stream. I've thought about having a counter that's like X many days since the last cry on stream. But yeah, so I'm sure, like, I think for the first few days, there's going to be, like, I think y'all's general impression is going to be like, how is it that Jet always has, like, tears in his eyes at the entire time? Almost like, yeah, I'll have to hydrate a lot because it'll be, there'll be a lot up here. But, oh, your papers. Are you guys ready for?
Yes. Yeah, I did look back at my Y. I was like, oh.
Your Y and R, you got them? All right. Done. Okay. How am I gonna score this? I don't even know. I don't know how it's gonna work. We'll see. Of the two of you, who is more likely to laugh out loud in the wrong situation? Oh, really? Maybe that's why you're friends, though. You know, that could be. I like that you both voted for yourself. Do you have any moments that stick out? Uh-oh.
Well, my defense mechanism to uncomfortable situations is to like smile and laugh.
Yes. Yep, same. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it's uncomfortable, I'm gonna laugh awkwardly. Yeah.
Oh no. I say oh no because I am kind of the same. My default reaction to most things is to laugh, as I think my brain tries to process what's happening. So sometimes and speaking of crying, I will if I know there is a cry about to happen, I will try to make myself laugh to see if I can stop it. However, that has created some very confusing moments for other people. If you can imagine, I've been in a group of people before where something really sad happened. I won't go into that, but something really sad happened. And I knew that I knew it was coming. And so, like, I started to kind of chuckle to myself, and, like, people definitely took notice. And then, all of a sudden, it just turned into full-on, like weeping. Like, and again, I say weeping. I want you guys to imagine this, because it's very hard for me just to, like, single tear cry and like very quietly do that. It's like like it is like it's just a lot happening in one moment. It's very visceral, I think is a good word for it. And so anyway, so I later though, someone came up to me, or they were talking, it was like a couple of us, and they were saying they were very confused because they were like, oh, like Jet's doing okay with this. he's doing okay with this. He's trying to smile. He's smiling. He's keeping his spirits up. And then they said that very quickly that turned into like oh no, what is going on? So anyway, okay, but do you have any standout moments of like times that you guys have like laughed and when in an inappropriate moment?
It's not so much laughing for me, it's making the joke. So like I'll laugh at inappropriate times, but it's mostly because I've thought of something that I find funny in that. Like I'll seek out the thing that's funny.
Right.
So it's more I'll make the inappropriate joke at the wrong time, which then obviously I'll laugh at. It's more that sort of thing. I can't think of anything I would want to say on stream.
Fair, yeah. I was going to say there's probably a lot of situations where it wouldn't be.
There's a very famous one that Raph knows about. That's not. It's just 100% not something I'd tell on stream, and I don't think we tell it to new people we meet anymore either. It was many years ago. We were different people.
Fair, yeah.
So yeah, it's more my thing. It's not the laugh; it's the joke. I make the joke at the inappropriate moment.
No, that makes sense. I think that's probably fairly normal. Raph, is there anything that you can think of?
Yeah. Like, how do I explain it? So, like, I was at my grandmother's funeral, and obviously everyone is very sad.
Right.
But like seeing people be sad, my brain was instantly like, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
No.
And then like I'm sitting there like kind of half smile. Obviously I'm very sad. And I'm like half smiling, like, don't start laughing. Don't start laughing for no reason at all. It's just what my brain does in sad situations.
Oh no. No,
So, like whenever there's an uncomfortable moment or someone gives bad news, I'm like, don't look at me. Don't make eye contact.
Goodness. But yeah, I've definitely been in spots like that too. So understandable. Yeah, it's a nervous thing. Yeah, it's you're trying your best. Okay. Who's the most likely? This guy really is a Slytherin. Big Slytherin mood for sure. Who's the most likely to sing in public? That's fair. That's fair. I feel like, I don't know, Raph, have you sang along with any of your songs on stream?
Oh, probably like a little bit, but not really even singing. Like I would have like whispered it to myself.
He does his little voice he does that he puts on a specific voice to sing along to stuff, I'd say. Like he'd be like,
that's fair.
All the small things. Like I can't do it, but like that's what he has, this specific voice he'll do when he's doing a jokey sing along to something. Like
I've never like seriously sung along to anything.
Yeah. And we know, well, for those who haven't seen YV's streams, it happens often.
Yes, I constantly have music running in my head, if not out loud somewhere. And so there's many things that will trigger a lyric in my head, and I will just sing that lyric. Like you guys were playing a game and El Dorado popped up on the screen, I just start singing El Dorado, stuff like that. Right,
yeah. Love it. I love it. Okay, who is most likely to binge a whole series an entire day? Really?
Yeah.
I do it so often.
Wait, really? Do you do it often?
Oh yeah. Like the Reacher series, I was just like, oh, I'll check this out, and I watched the first episode, and I was like, I really like that, and then I watched the entire season like after that first episode, just back to back to back the entire day. Or like everyone was talking about Fallout when that came out, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out, and I watched the first episode, and then like what I think YV had said, like he watched the first 2 episodes the day before, and then like that morning I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out, and then at like 3 p.m. I was like, all right, I finished it, I liked it, and YV was like, what the hell, man, I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, if I like a show, I will just keep watching until it's done. Every season.
And YV, you don't really talk about shows all that often, I feel like, or at least in conversations that we've had, but are you more of like a why not binge things, I guess? What is that?
I do, just not as often. Like I fill most of my time with video games, or like I'm one of those people who can convince themselves they don't have enough time to do things and then proceed to do something else for the exact same amount of time that you could have done in that thing, you know what I mean?
Guilty.
I have started watching more. I'm more of like I like enjoying stuff I've already enjoyed. I don't branch out too much with shows and stuff like that. Although I did start watching Only Murders in the Building yesterday, and I was quite enjoying the first few episodes of that. But I
don't think I've even heard of that.
It's Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
Oh,
Disney.
I've seen a poster.
Yes,
I've seen a poster.
But yeah, I don't know. Some things I'll binge, like Fallout. I watched that as quickly as I could. Raph was quicker because he's Raph. I can't think of other things. I don't know. I guess I'm just not much of a binge watcher, I suppose. I'll watch fair. A show, but I'm the kind of person who'll be like midway through a show and then just suddenly never watch it again.
Oh no!
Like even shows I really like Shoresy. Season 2 of that came out. I didn't watch for ages, and I watched it, and I binged it, and I got to the last episode, and I haven't watched the last episode. It's been about 4 months. There's one episode, like 23 minutes. I cannot bring myself to it. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of my thing. Is I just stop
That's
and watch
fair.
something else. It's like a attention deficit sort of problem, I suppose.
No,
I
that's
for
totally fair.
ages had been going on about how I really wanted to rewatch Breaking Bad, because I was like, oh, I loved Breaking Bad, I want to watch it again. And I binged Breaking Bad, and I finished it in like 2 days, and I was like, I swear I remember this being longer.
Like, how many seasons? That's like, isn't it kind of a
4 or
long
5,
show?
maybe.
Oh, is it 4 or
Yeah,
5? Okay, that makes sense.
But there's not a lot of episodes. Like there's maybe like 8 or 9 episodes a season.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even
They
realize
are like
that.
an
I thought
hour
it was-
long, are they not?
They are, yeah. They're long.
Okay. So you
But-
watched about 30 hours of TV in 2 days.
Yeah, maybe it was 3.
Yeah.
But like,
that yeah.
and then I was
had
so
some
upset that it
emotion
was
behind
over. I was like, I should have spaced this out because now I can't rewatch it straight away.
I
But
feel
this is why
I-
like I prefer long form TV shows, like not long form, but like long seasons. Like I rewatch One Tree Hill like once a year. There's like 11. There's like 16 seasons of that, I think. Or, like-
Yeesh.
Gossip Girl, another good one to rewatch. There's a lot of episodes and a lot of seasons.
I'm definitely more of like a binge watcher, I think. Just because like rather than or I'll wait until it show's out so I can just sit down and kind of watch it at my own pace.
Yeah.
Versus like I don't like the week to week so much anymore because it's like if I don't want to wait, I just want to know more. I want to continue. Right now I'm watching Fringe for the first time. That's been wild. I don't know if you guys have watched Fringe before. Honestly, pretty decent. I would recommend it if you want some weirdness, I guess, in your life. But and Spoopy Bay, welcome in. Hello.
Spoopy.
Let's wrap this
But oh, I was going to ask kind of a follow-up. This is not a why or our question, but if you could pick a like TV show character that you feel like is similar to the other person,
Oh, the other person.
who would you say? Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 characters from a TV show that I think we are.
Oh, really? I'd be very curious to hear that too.
Now I'm concerned that I should know this reference and I'm confused. Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah.
Jade-
I caught up.
JD and Tech from
Yeah.
Scrubs.
I could see that, honestly. That was kind of what I was thinking in my head.
Back in high school, we used to call each other what those characters called each other.
I love it. Vanilla Bear?
I think we can say it.
Or
I was
what?
like, I'm not sure. But
Yeah, it's nothing weird.
yeah,
Um,
I'd call Yvy my vanilla bear and he'd call me his chocolate
Oh,
bear.
Yeah. I love it. As a Latino, I like the episode where they introduced Caramel Bear,
Caramel Bear, yeah.
for like one episode or like flashback or something. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
I think that was Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite as well.
Was
think
it?
the
I didn't
actor
even
who
remember that.
Who plays Caramel Bear?
That's funny.
Uh,
I really enjoyed Scrubs.
I love Scrubs.
I
that
feel-
was one of my first favorite TV shows. Yeah.
I felt like I identified with JD almost too much a little bit, and unfortunately a little bit of what's her name? The
Elliot.
blonde doc Elliot. Yeah, I think she is a bit neurotic sometimes, and I feel like there were moments where I was like, oh no. I kind of understand where she's coming from, but anyway.
I'm trying to think
What a
of
good show, though.
character in a TV show that I watched that Raph is like. I don't know if anything comes to mind because like characters are so exaggerated in most shows that I watch. I watch a lot of comedies. I'm not really a drama person too much.
Fair.
So I just don't know if he'd be like anyone in like a comedy sitcom situation.
Well, you guys are very JD and Turk, so I accept that.
We'll take that.
Yeah. I accept that as a good answer.
Oh, speaking of, a side
Yes.
note, at work, we did a campaign, and me and one of the guys in our team did a great job, and I made us mugs.
So
And
good.
I photoshopped us onto JD and Tech on the mug, and I have the mug right here.
Oh wait, you
Oh,
do?
no.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I love it.
Like that's my face on Tech's body.
You guys should sell that as combined. Like you should make another one of you two and sell it as combined merch.
And then get sued by NBC.
Nah, they won't know. We can call it. Well, oh wait, oh you know it's actually kind of perfect because it's JD YV.
YV and Raph.
And then yeah,
Same amount of letters to Turk and Raph as well.
Maybe that's what the T stands for in the DTD. We don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right. Y or R? Who is the most likely to make friends with a total stranger?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, drunk? Do they have to be sober for this? Because it's the same answer regardless. But
Curious, why? Why do you think? Why is that?
Friendlier person and more likely to want to start a conversation with people. I'm not a huge on strangers in public. Yeah.
Fair. That people here have heard my stories on that. I am more like that. Maybe at like a party setting, I would like go out of my way a little bit more, but like, yeah, I'm generally not like. I will go to the extreme where if I'm at the grocery store and there is somebody in the aisle that I need something from, I will convince myself that I don't need it.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
I'll be like, I'll go somewhere else.
I'll go to a different supermarket, actually.
I don't need this. I'll like come back around to see if they've left, and if they've left, then I'll go in there. But I just don't like talking to people really out in the world. So I also, when I get to Australia, you'll probably be like, this guy's very quiet, and why is he crying?
Just silently sobbing around Woolies
everywhere, holding a koala, while eating a bunning snag. But Raph. Do you like, so that's true about you? Do you feel like you go out of your way to like talk to strangers or?
I don't think I go out of my way to talk to strangers, but like if I start a new job, I like make it a mission to like get to know something that I have in common with like everyone in the office, so that like we always have something to talk about. Or like,
oh wow,
if we go to a party and like it's all of our friends that we all know, and then there's like one random person there that we don't know, I will like try and talk to them and like find things they like that we like, so that they can then join like the rest of us.
Look at you.
Like,
yeah, I like trying to. I'm a people pleaser.
The difference being he seeks out people to please, whereas I let them come to me, and then I'll please them.
That is awesome. That I can see that though. I feel like I can see bits and pieces of that. Who is more likely to like oversleep and like miss an alarm or an important thing? Oh boy.
It's not close.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a miracle that I'm here right now.
Yeah, honestly. There's been times like, so with back to the wrestling, when we were both watching WWE at the same time before AEW came along, every month I would go to Raph's house and we'd watch the WWE pay-per-view together. That's what we did for several years before AEW came along and ruined everything for Raph. But so like that's why I'm so close with his mum and his dad and stuff like that. I was over there every month. See them all the time. I should point out, these wrestling pay-per-views are on at the exact same time on the exact same day. Like it's always Sunday at 11 a.m. or something like that, or something like that. And I would go to the house, knock on the door, and no answer. And then I have to wander to the side and knock on his window and then text him and then call him several times at 11 a.m. And eventually he'd be like, "Hey man, sorry, I was asleep." And I was like, "I know."
Raph, any defense?
Okay. No, that's accurate.
That's fair.
To be fair, back then I used to sleep until like I wouldn't sleep till like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
I was having this conversation with someone yesterday about this whole thing, and saying that like it's probably good that Raph's now more of a morning person and he's got his sleep schedule more sorted out, because I just don't think he would have made it to this a few years ago.
And it's,
are you guys
it's still like anxiety based whether I'll wake up or not. Like
Oh,
if I'm
really?
like I have an important thing, like if I have work in the morning, I will wake up. But like if it's
Oh.
or like we were doing this, so I will wake up. But like if I go to bed tonight at the same time I did last night, I don't have anything on tomorrow. If I set my alarm, I will still not wake up tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
because I'm like there's nothing on. Like my brain's just like no, you can sleep.
That's interesting. For me, I'm more like if I have anxiety about what's happening in the morning, I won't go to sleep. Like I will at some point I will hit a point where I'm like, I am just going to stay up because now I am afraid that I'm going to miss the alarm. And so I will then just like I'll be like, I'll have to take a nap in the middle of the day or something, but I just can't. I know I can't go to sleep because I'm afraid that I won't wake up. I have anxiety about not waking up, really. Less so about like what is actually like the event or whatever that's happening. But anyway.
I went to school on no sleep a lot back in high school for that reason, where it'd be like 4 a.m. and I'd be like, I need to be up in 2 hours and I'm definitely not going to wake up if I fall asleep right now. So I'd just not sleep and then go to school.
I will say I was a little nervous because I stayed up getting some of I did some things to the stream, like trying to make sure that it worked, different overlay and other stuff. And so then part of me was like, oh gosh, what if I go to sleep now, like what happens if I miss? And I'm like, I've been looking forward to this all week. What would I'd be so upset. But then, but I was able to go to sleep, don't worry. So it ended up being good. But, who is, out of the two of you, more likely to cry watching a commercial, like a sad commercial? YV? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I've said it before, I'm a crier. I just can't cry in public, mostly.
Oh, really?
So if we're in a private setting with someone I'm quite comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
also,
fair.
I'm more of like usually it's more like a wholesome crier. So like if the commercial has like a wholesome undertone, that's more likely to give me a bit like teary. But I'm kind of different to you, where I do have like two separate levels. I do have like the one tier, and then I have sobbing, and those are the two. There's no in between.
Fair.
But the sobbing is reserved for very sad movies or funerals. It's
Yes.
usually just like, but the one tier is usually just because I can't cry in front of people, so I will just like you'll see me well up. It will look like an anime with like a full wall of water over the eye, but it will not break the plane because I will not cry.
I love it. So anime. And then Raph, are you? How emotional would you say you are? Like not verbally, but like how expressive, emotional expressiveness would you say?
Like none.
Are you like really?
I'm crying right now.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't think I've cried since I was like 8.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't cried since 8 this morning.
Like fun fact, I used to have really bad like social anxiety when I was a kid. And like I think I went to school for like 2 weeks the whole of grade 1 because I just refused to go because I didn't want to be around other people or have to like talk to anyone, and like I would like be kicking and screaming and crying for like that entire year. And like I remember I had to go to like psychologists and stuff. But like basically I'm pretty sure that entire year just sort of taught me not to cry. So like I don't think I've cried since then.
It's like everyone has like a set amount of tears they cry in their life.
Yeah, I'm all cried out. They're all
You're
good.
just like done.
Like,
let's get this out of the way.
I'll watch something super sad and I'll feel incredibly sad, and like my girlfriend will be bawling her eyes out next to me, and she'll look over at me, and I'm just like deadpan, like no expression. And I'm like, that is really sad. Yes.
That is sad. It's the opposite of speaking of Scrubs, because we were actually talking about this a while back on my stream, but like In Scrubs, JD dates a girl who never laughs, but instead says, "That's so funny."
Yeah.
Instead, and then there's like, I think Turk is like, just pretend she's saying, "That's so money." But it sounds like that, but reverse. Like that is sad.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It is just that. Like,
So sad.
I will feel all of the emotions. I just don't display any of them.
Right.
They stay internal.
I have like zero control over it. I think, and I've been told that when I'm with people, they can usually tell, like, if I'm trying to hide it, like, or if I'm trying to like be a normal person or have like somewhat like a normal range of emotion, they'll kind of be like, oh, he's like 1 second away from just absolutely tearing up or crying or whatever. But who is the most likely out of the two of you to surprise the other with a gift? Really?
I probably could make a list of the amount of times, like, it would take me 10 to 20 minutes to like write everything I've ever been gifted by Raph randomly. For no
What?
reason. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Definitely a gift giver. I think I talked about this in Power Wash Simulator.
Might
one
have.
time, where Raph's, and like, not like to call him out, like, they're not usually cheap gifts either. Like, I went to his house once, and like, he was just like, "Oh, hey, I have this cologne. It's not for me, so you can have it." And it's like a $300 bottle of like Chanel or something like that. And I was like, "What the hell? Like, I'm not accepting this gift."
That doesn't count as a gift. that seems like
What?
I bought
Doesn't it?
something and I was like, I don't really like it. Do you want it? That didn't seem like a gift.
But yeah,
I get you like normal-ish gifts.
Yes, maybe. But yeah, I had to start telling him to stop buying me presents for birthday and Christmas, because like I can't reciprocate like he can. Like, I feel terrible because he just really likes spoiling you, and I'm just like, I can't. I do too, but I can't. We're not going to be on a level playing field here.
How have you held back, Ross, because of that, or has it continued regardless? For birthdays and Christmas.
It's definitely slowed down, but he still will do it, kind of thing. Like, one time, I think it was last Christmas maybe, we ran into each other at a shopping center that's not close to either of our houses. Like, it's a bigger shopping center in the region that I never shop at, so it was actually extra funny that we ran into each other there. And he was like, "Oh, I saw this Elvis Pop vinyl that I thought you'd like, but I figured you already had it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's these two out that I don't have." Like, I just was making conversation, and he was like, "Huh, interesting." And I was like, "No, it's no." And then yeah, like, Christmas came, and I had this present, and I was like, "It's such." So like, immediately after that conversation, I was like, "I'm gonna go buy Raph a gift." Like, I know I'm getting a present for Christmas from this.
I don't know. It's like I would just get gifts for people if I go somewhere and like I see something that reminds me of like YV, I'll be like, "I'm getting it." Like,
I love that.
Like, I went to Singapore, and I still haven't given it to Broncos yet. But I went to Singapore and we went to Universal Studios, and there's like a Jurassic Park ride. So like the merch store had like a bunch of Jurassic Park things. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy him a Jurassic Park keychain." And like, if I see something and it reminds me of you, I'm just gonna get it and be like, "Oh,
I
saw
love
this.
that.
Here you go."
It's very, I complain about it a lot, but it's very lovely. I appreciate it a lot. Like, but I complain because I can't reciprocate well enough in my head. So like, I do love, and it's always a good present. Like, it is always a fantastic thing. It is always something that's very personal to you, and it's a lovely present. But it's always, and I'm like, I can't do the same, and that's what I hate about the situation. Is like,
but I also love it because I'm a terrible gift receiver. I don't know how to express that I like what I've been gifted, so it's usually very like, "Oh, thanks."
No, that's so good. And I mean, what a good quality though, to like, you know, be thinking about other people while you're going out and doing stuff. I think that's cool. So way to go. I like that. Oh, kind of a side note, because YV and I for sure have talked about this, about like love languages. We talked about it on one of the Power Wash Simulator streams. Rap, are you familiar with love languages, like what the 5 are or whatever?
I think gift giving is one. Time
True.
is one.
Quality time, yes.
I don't know the others.
Gift giving, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and physical touch. What would you say? How do you prefer to show love, and then how do you prefer to receive it? Because it might be different.
I definitely gift give to show love.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
And I would say quality time is the other one. Yeah, like that's what I like to receive.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Is like time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I feel like I don't have a good example for what I even mean by that.
No, I mean, yeah, just someone like taking time to spend time with you, or
like
I'm sure even
we
probably
have
playing games too. I think.
Yeah, like we have friends that are like very popular streamers, and like when they spend 3 hours watching me stream, I'm like, I really appreciate that. Like that's probably like that sort of thing. I'm like, that means a lot more than like gifts or words of affirmation or anything. It's like you didn't have to say anything, you just spent time.
100%. That I'm also a quality time person, both in how I like show and prefer to receive it as well. So yeah, that totally makes sense. It's probably very obvious based on just even me talking about Australia. Me just being like, I want to spend time with people. That's all it is. And then YV, because we've talked about this, but for everyone else, what's your like receive versus giving?
You
definitely love to receive gifts.
Do I? I do. My thing is, I don't know. Receiving is so weird for me, I guess, because I always feel a bit of there's always a little, I don't know how to describe it, a caveat to every single thing. Like I do love receiving gifts. I love that, like someone has thought about me and put in the effort, but I feel bad that they bought the gift. Or like physical touch. I do love physical touch, but to an extent, kind of thing like that. Like I also need to not be touched really badly sometimes.
Yeah.
And same as like I love quality time, love hanging out with my friends, but sometimes I really need to be alone. It's stuff like that where it's like I do quite enjoy all of them, but then also like there's a limit. You know what I mean?
You're the avatar.
So yeah, giving love, gifts as well. Physical touch probably is a bigger one. And kind of like getting love, physical touch, but like in a receptive way, kind of like allowing me to be more physical touch with them. You know what I mean? Like I'm not expecting anyone to like touch me too much, but like I like a hugger and kind of like I'm not put off by showing affection to like my male friends and stuff like that. Like Space Broncos and I can be sitting somewhere and I'll just like lay my head on their shoulder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's more allowing me to be like that is the physical touch though. You know what I mean?
I don't know if this is fully accurate or like fully like a 1-for-1, but the description of that reminds me of a cat. I don't like, you know, like sometimes if you're somebody who's like, oh, I want the cat to love me. I want the cat to like, I want to pet the cat. The cat will just be like, no. But then sometimes it's like you have to let the cat like be the one to,
let me touch when I want to be touched.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how that would be described, but just letting me be myself around people really goes along.
I like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that would be
that's
described
awesome.
as though.
No,
yeah, like I
it
don't
makes
mind.
sense.
Like I'll hold hands with the boys and stuff in public and stuff if they're comfortable with it. Like it's more of a jokey way, but like it's kind of like that 50-50 joke where it's just like, let's hold hands, and then it's just nice,
but
hold
also
hands.
this is
like,
comfortable. Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. Yeah, so probably receiving, physical touch, but like, in a more like, let me physically touch. In a
right.
way.
Yeah. You were talking about control before, about like the roller coaster. It kind of seems like kind of similar.
Yeah, I need to be in control.
Kind of similar.
I don't know. Where being a youngest child, probably.
That might do it. Okay. Who is the most likely to be spontaneous?
I was leaning for that as well. Yeah.
Is that on the fence?
Mostly because I think we both can be quite spontaneous. I think it's just... Okay, Raph disagrees, apparently.
Uh-oh.
In my head, I was like, I don't know which one of us it is, because I don't think either of us like to be spontaneous.
Okay, well then I'll go me comfortably then, I suppose. I guess it depends on what you would consider something spontaneous.
I'm very much a planner. Like, I hate last-minute plans with a passion.
Okay.
Like, if we had nothing on tonight, and YV was like, let's go do this thing in the city, I'd be like, I hate everything about this.
But he would come, the thing.
Now I have to, like, panic and be like, what time do I have to leave to get there at this time? Where am I going to park when I get there? And, like, I've sorted all of that stuff out, like, weeks in advance so that, like, I don't have to stress about it. So spontaneous things, not for me.
All right. Well, then, comfortably me, I suppose.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like you're the only one who's very comfortable with it.
My more spontaneity comes from, like, I like surprising people with stuff, and it's really easy when it's stuff about yourself.
Right.
So, like, I was talking about it on stream this week. Like, I just went and got my first tattoo when I did, and didn't tell anyone I was doing it except for my partner at the time, because she was with me. And then I just turned up with a tattoo, or like my piercings. Like, just went and my nose, we all got done. My partner at the time and a friend of mine, she was down from where she lives, and I was just like, I kind of want to get my nose pierced. And then my partner was like, I've been thinking about that too. And so we all just went to the shops and got our noses pierced. Same with my helix the other day. Yeah. So it's stuff
very spontaneous.
If it's something I can do to myself and it doesn't cost a lot of money, I'm probably likely to just pop that in there and go.
Right on. Actually, kind of random, because we were talking about Myers-Briggs the other day. Raph, have you taken the Myers-Briggs test before? Or like the ENFP or ENFJ, any of that?
It's not ringing any bells.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Well, I will. Actually, I would love to take the tests at some point. In fact, with all of you, I think that'd actually be very fun. Okay, never mind. Don't even think about it, Raph. Don't even worry about it. Last question. Who is, out of the two of you, most likely to give great advice in a tough situation? Uh-oh. Is that true? Is that... Oh. Decision split. Maybe you guys are both good advice givers? What do you think?
That is true. We're comparing against each other and not in general is the point of this. So I'd argue we are both quite good at advice. I only said me because I'm very much listen to what I say, don't do what I do. Like I won't listen to advice, I make terrible decisions, but I know what you should do. And I think it's the right thing. So that's why I said me, is because I'm very much that person where I'm like, look, I know the right thing to do here. I'm not going to do it.
I love it.
But I think you should do this. And that's why I was thinking myself.
Raph?
I said myself because, like, I think, like, that was one of the reasons that I was popular-ish.
Oh, really?
In high school.
No way.
Like, really downselling this.
People would really just trauma dump on me for me to then, like, talk things out. So it's like, I think I'm good at that stuff.
Dang.
I think that's something we do have in common, is that we I don't know what it is about us, but we're both kind of people that people really love to share intimate details with about their lives. I wouldn't tell you why, but it's happened to me as well a lot over the years, and it's happened around a fair few times where people do just feel comfortable sharing all of their problems. And like, I'm not complaining, I should point out. It's just happened more than once, so it's kind of like, I wonder why that is. Yeah, we do. I'd say we both have had that happen a fair few times where people are comfortable in sharing, which is great. I'm glad that I make people comfortable like that. But yeah, which then
that's
leads
awesome.
you to learning how to give advice, because it happens with enough people that you're like, well, this happened to this person, so maybe this will work for you. And kind of, yeah,
We just have so much knowledge.
we have some knowledge.
On
guys are
average,
so
this
smart.
advice works well.
Other people
Just
learn from
so
their own
smart.
mistakes. We learn from other people's mistakes because they tell us about them.
No, we love that. Well, that was all the questions that I had, which means final scores. I think we can safely say, I think for that whole, segment, you guys get 20,000 points. Oh, that just says 20.
Anyway, everything's made up, and the points don't matter.
You guys both win. It's incredible. You win friendship. The best friend quiz was
my
the
prediction.
friends. Yeah, along the way. Yeah, there you go. You guys both crushed it. I would love to take just a little BRB break. And then we can see if we have some time for games. If not, we can just chat for a little bit more and then we can continue. But Raph gets 20,000, YV stays on 5.
That sounds like somebody's catching a taxi into the casino tonight.
Oh no, lost their ride. All right, we will BRB, friends. So if you need to stand up, stretch, etc., take a break, go get some water or something, and we will be right back. BRB.
Take this pause to rejuvenate. Stand, stretch, hydrate. We will be back in just a few moments.
And welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful little break. We've just been chatting here for a second. Well, friends, one, I love, by the way, thank you guys for answering all of those. I know, I guess I can put your points away. I don't have any more, like, best friend quiz questions. But I also did only prepare those literally before stream.
Fantastic questions. It was really
you're
well
right.
done.
Thank
Keith
you.
said earlier, you're a very, very good interviewer.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. It's almost like we should start a podcast. Or something.
You interviewing me every day, every week.
I do like asking people questions, but that just happens. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people end up figuring that out sooner rather than later. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I don't know. I like to know things. But this is the first time I've ever had, like, you know, 2 people on stream, let alone like then people who actually know each other. So it was just sort of like I gotta know the scoops. I gotta know the scoops. Side notes. How is, like, so both of you have started streaming this year. Kind of tell me what that's been like for you guys. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, okay, first off, first question, to give it more specific question. Is it what you expected?
No.
No. Yeah.
In what ways?
Right.
I was really expecting it to be like 4 months of like 2 people watching me, being Livey and maybe Kato sometimes. I was like, it's just gonna be me playing games to nobody. So it's been really cool that people are actually coming and hanging out. It's going a lot better than I thought it would.
For sure. And then, like, actually, like, the process of streaming and all of that, was that sort of like, I guess, follow-up question. Did you guys watch Twitch a lot before you started streaming? No. That was in unison, by the way. The head shakes. Incredible. It's like your besties. So yeah, well, I guess, I don't know. What were you expecting from, like, the process of streaming and, like, what your streams would look like and all of that? Tell me it all.
Livey?
I never really had a plan. It's like, yeah, spontaneity.
There we go.
I've said it before. Like, I started because I was in a relationship and that ended at the start of the year. And I just was like, whoa, I have so much more spare time than I thought, because like me and my former partner lived together. And we had for several years. So I wasn't used to being on my own, and I like would go to work, come home from gym, and then have like 3.5 hours to myself every night. And I was like, that's a lot of time to fill. I'll start playing like games a lot more. And so I played it for like a week, and I was like, well, yeah, I might as well. If I'm playing video games, might as well stream it. And if somebody watches, then cool. Like, that'll be fine. I'll have someone to chat to every now and again while I play. Because I like playing and chatting with people. Like I said, Raph and I back in the day of all our friends used to be on Skype together. That wasn't just for COD. Like, there was time when Skyrim came out. We had like 5-6 of us in a Skype call, and we were just all playing Skyrim individually, but just chatting.
I love that.
So like, I enjoy chatting to people while I played games. So I was like, well, I'll stream. And if somebody chats, then sick. And then that was kind of all the plan I had. And then people started watching, and so I needed to get this other thing so that it looked a bit better. So then I needed overlays. So then I had to go through stream elements and then figure out how to set that up with my console. So then I needed light stream. And so it's more like that, where it's just like, it keeps growing and I need more stuff constantly. And then I needed a capture card. And then that kind of, like, I didn't expect thrown.
Put the link in chat.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. When, like, in March or wherever it was I started, I didn't expect then 3 months later to be having a birthday stream where I had you know, a whole bunch of people talking to me and giving me money, and just some random dude from Alaska popping in and chatting to me, and then chatting to me every day, then onward.
And then be like, why won't this guy leave me alone?
Yeah, so like I didn't have any expectations. It literally started with me being like, well, if I'm gonna play video games, someone might as well watch. So I had no plans, and now I'm sitting here doing an interview podcast thing on Thursday morning, 7 months later, having a great time.
I was gonna ask if you guys ever thought like, did you be? I mean, this makes me sound more important than not. But I was gonna say like, did you think that you would like be making friends with, you know, people from all over, basically, like, you know, you'd be talking to an Alaskan.
Right.
I assumed that like over time I would eventually make friends with people from other countries and stuff, but I wouldn't have expected to be doing this right now at any point.
Fair. Yeah, fair. When I started, because I also didn't really watch Twitch like before I started streaming, and so then my expectations were like very low, and yeah, I don't know. I started off, I told some friends that I'd be streaming, and kind of through their help, I was able to get to affiliate, but then like none of them pretty much watch anymore, but yeah, it just kept growing from there. We played a lot of Animal Crossing, and then it just was kind of slowly building over time, like, oh, like people from all over, meeting a few Aussies over time through Animal Crossing and other stuff, and then I don't know, it's just fun. I never would have expected, like, I don't know, making friends with you guys, or again, I was telling, I can't remember why we brought this up yesterday, Raph, but while we were playing Apex, I was like, yeah, I mean, I more or less just stumbled into YV's stream, and then was like, I'm just gonna say happy birthday, and then I'm gonna leave. And then was like, no, wait, this guy's cool. I can't leave.
So it's not even on stream. You can just be playing a game with someone else on chat, and you're like, you know what I'm going to talk about right now? YV.
It doesn't matter. No, this wasn't on stream. It was just the two of us talking. I can't remember why I brought that up, but just like, I don't know. It's funny how you kind of make friends on Twitch, and you just kind of, it's all random. I feel like I can't really fully, you know, would have predicted it, I guess, but
the bit that, like, coming from a sporting background more, like I've always played video games, but like everything is sport from like as a kid, kind of thing like that, is like, it's so, when you're trying to like do anything good in sports, it's such a grassroots thing. So you have to get good in like your area, and then you have to get noticed in like your state, and you have to get noticed in your country, and then you might get noticed internationally, is the whole how it works.
Yeah.
And then to be like on Twitch, and one of my first viewers, first person who was talking in chat who I did not know was a guy named Xboot from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, no way.
Who would chat to me and watch me play Crash Bandicoot. And then Jenny jumped in, she's from Bulgaria, and stuff like that. So a lot of the first people that I was chatting to were from all over the world, and I think that's kind of, thinking about it, is what is so very different, is that I didn't have to like become like kind of little big in my little community here. I didn't have to get like then big in Australia. It's like, you just, like, I'm not big, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to get noticed in little places to get noticed around the world. Like,
right.
I've got Mary and you and Twinsanity and Jenny and all that, who are just all over the world. And I love that because it is so much fun learning about other people's cultures and languages and stuff like that. I really enjoy that sort of thing. So I think that is the cool part. It's just, you can be noticed from anywhere in the world at any time because someone just happens to click on a stream that they like that game or something.
Totally. And I feel like it's also sort of, not, I mean, it can be eye-opening in a way, but it's sort of also like, it's cool that it's like, you can make friends with pretty much like anybody across the pond, and so you find people that you're like,
have so much in common. We just don't
wild.
have a chance to find out about each other.
It's so wild. Yeah, but it's just like, man, it's fun to you know, just be like, oh, I can be friends with all these people that I otherwise would never have known existed. Like, you know, didn't know you guys existed as of a few months ago, and now I have inserted myself into your lives.
It is cool when you backtrack. I really enjoy the idea of backtracking to where you were when you say like 2002. I don't think I've ever asked Jet, if you don't want to say, what year are you born in? Like,
I'm just forever years old. I was born in '87. I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Yeah, I honestly would have never guessed that.
I know. That's why I get told that.
So the idea though that like little me in Tanuma Bay near Newcastle, little Raph in Singapore, little Jet in Tennessee, the idea that like we're all now on a call together at the same time on different parts of the world, like is so like amazing, that like butterfly effect of how we all got here. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's weird because if we were hanging out when I was 10, I'd be hanging out with fetuses. So that'd just be like, I mean, actually, no, you'd be like, no, you guys would be like babies. You guys would be babies.
I'd be 2 and Raph would be 1.
So yeah, so it's funny. If you think about it that way, it's just a wild thought.
It's crazy how things tie together, like, though, that like you have overlapping things from your past that you might not know about. Like, I have a friend who I met when I was 18, 19, because she was someone we went to school with's neighbor, and it turns out that we've known each other for years, and it was only like this year that I found out that she is actually from Sydney originally, and she used to holiday up in near the small town that I grew up in. So there was a brief period where we were within probably 10 kilometers of each other when we were about 5 years old, and there's just like just and now we know each other up here in Brisbane. And then another friend who I met when I was like 20, we went to the same festivals, and we would have been within 10, 20 feet of each other because we're at the same, like, concert, like we're watching the same band in the same mosh pit kind of thing like that. But yeah, I really enjoy that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I know it's harder because you're like American, but there are probably little crossroads that we experienced at the same time.
I was talking to someone the other day in their stream about a festival here in Australia, and he was like, oh, did you go to that festival last year? And I was like, yeah, I did. He was like, yeah, I was watching this band. And I was like, I was also watching that band. And I was like, the chances that like at some point we glanced at each other and then looked away without knowing that we would now know each other are so high.
That's so cool.
That like we did actually meet just without knowing it.
I love that. In your time of streaming, we were kind of talking about this the other day on my stream a little bit, but I am kind of curious. Do you have any pet peeves that have like popped up?
Oh, I don't know.
Raph, if you know, you can chime in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think. Mostly just tech issues. There's always
fair.
You can not touch anything, and then between streams it's all broken, and you're like, I don't understand what's happened.
Yes.
That's always annoying.
Big feels.
Obviously that running joke that's what the Y stands for is tech issues. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say pet peeve, more of kind of reverse, in that it's made me realize I need to not be so online, because now I am online, you know what I mean? Whereas like I used to have quite bad anxiety in the sense that like if someone messaged me, I had to reply immediately. I can't just have that sitting there and I feel bad. Whereas now being online, it has made me be a bit more offline in my own time.
That's good.
To not be as available to everyone, if that makes sense. It's not like a pet peeve kind of thing. It's just more made me be like, oh, I'm getting a lot more messaging now, and I need that to like, I need to compartmentalize that a bit more.
No, that's a healthy thing. I've definitely been like, I've definitely felt that at times where it's like, oh gosh, I need to respond to all this. I feel like I haven't gotten a smartwatch or anything, and part of that is just like I don't want people to be like, oh, Jet's at it. I mean, I have my phone on me you know, most of the time. But you piece of garbage. I don't want it to be like, you know, like I don't want people to say, oh, Jet has to answer because I know he has his like Apple Watch on him or whatever. Shady. Did I miss the start of the Handsome Con panels? Incredible. Incredible.
I don't know. It's really funny because like I used to be very much someone that the minute you messaged me I would reply straight away. Like all the time. The minute someone said something, I would probably be the first person to see it and reply in like a group chat or whatever.
Definitely.
And I've become the complete opposite now.
We now have to tag Raph to get a response out of him because he has turned off his notifications.
No, I have notifications. I just don't look at my phone.
Even worse.
like I won't look at the group chats unless I'm tagged in it until like for like 3 hours at a time, and then like I'll catch up on the last couple of messages, but I'll miss like 2 hours worth of chat.
To be fair,
or like I've got let me check. I have 10 DMs on Instagram right now that I'm like, I will get to that later, and I will never get to that. Like it'll just never happen. Like I sent one of the boys a post the other day that I was like, I need you to like this post. It was like for something related, something completely unrelated, and I like sent it to him and I was like, I need you to like this. And he replied, he was like, I'll like it for you even though you don't look at my memes.
Oh my goodness.
To be fair with the group chat thing though, we are a part of a group chat that some days can be going off for like 3 hours straight with messaging, where like if you weren't a part of that session, you're coming into 200, 300 plus messages. So some days it is easier. If you've missed it, you've missed it. Don't go back because you are it's a roller coaster of garbage. There's like 8 of us. We're all idiots. It's not good conversation, but like it will be. Like you'll be driving to work and you'll see the messages start happening and you're like, no, like I want to be a part of this, but I kind of can't because it's illegal and a massive fine here. So like you've just got to hope that the messages you don't miss like 300 messages in the half hour between when you can look at your phone again. So
that is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's a lot of messages that if you don't want to see and be a part of, until you get tagged, you're like, oh god.
My girlfriend sends me like Instagram reels of like funny videos, and she knows that if she starts sending them to me on a Monday and we don't see each other till Saturday, she knows I'm probably not gonna look at my DMs until the weekend. She's like, I actually send them to you now, knowing you're not gonna look at them, so I can watch them with you in person on Saturday. She's like, and I will have forgotten what the videos were. So it's like we're both watching them for the first time.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I do like that.
I love it. What has been the most fun part about streaming for you guys? And then what has been the hardest?
I think my funnest part would be the complete opposite of YV's, where I really like all of the like setting stuff up and like I like all of like making the commands or like getting new overlays made up and like doing the technical bits. I really enjoy. I have a lot of fun with that. I guess it makes sense doing marketing that like I would like that stuff.
Understand. Yes.
And least favorite part. Oh, I don't actually know. What would my least favorite part be? I do find it really awkward when like something I do have to get better at is like being able to talk when no one is talking in the chat. I do find it really weird, and then I'm like, well, and then I just start gaming in silence.
So, you guys like stuff?
You like stuff? I like stuff. I've liked stuff before.
What was it? Favorite and hardest? Back to the tech stuff though, real quick. My problem is that I've self-professed like the worst millennial. I'm not very tech savvy at all. I'm good with things that are set up. Like I can work with the PlayStation and I can work with the TV in their settings, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But anything that requires me to then take one thing and another thing and get them to work together and a behind the scenes sort of thing, I'm useless at. I cannot do behind the scenes work. I can do surface level OS type, and then even then, I'm probably going to get a tutorial up. That's where I really struggle. Is any kind of getting two pieces of technology to work together, I'm screwed. Which is obviously, I have so many wires now in my room here. It's so stressful. So that's my problem there. I'd say the hardest thing is I'm not confrontational, really. Football field aside, in my day-to-day life, I'm not a confrontational person unless, like we've talked about, it comes to like defending a friend.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
like sometimes, you know, people can come into your chat and be not the right fit or something like that, and you've got to kind of be like the boss or the parent and be like, hey, none of that. And I'm not great at that. I do really still struggle with that. I feel like personally terrible if I have to time someone out or ban them. Like it takes a lot of like, even if it's like not in the moment, like I can be like the next day, be like, I didn't like how that person was, I should probably ban them. And then I'll like sit there staring at the ban and be like, I'll give them another chance. They, you know. So I really struggle with that sort of like passive confrontation.
Yeah, for sure. That can be rough. That can like it's definitely like a skill sort of that like I didn't know really was needed for like this, because you expect everything to go well, even like maybe have like some trolls that are like, you know, but there's actually a lot of like nuance, I think, that sort of you then have to figure out.
If it's someone who's doing it on purpose, you're like, yeah, you know what you're doing, banned. If it's someone who's not aware of what they're doing, then it's a lot more like, oh, and I like to think I'm quite empathetic. I'm pathetic. Empathetic. So I am quite good at being like, okay, I can see from their point of view. So sometimes people will be talking in chat and you're like, but then you'd be like, oh, where are they from? Cultural, what's like going on with it? Like, you know, that sort of stuff there, like personality wise, maybe they've got something going on that the rest of us don't. That all that sort of thing is what I think about. So then I'm more like, oh, I don't want to just ban or time someone out just because they might not be picking up on the cues that the rest of us are picking up on. Stuff like that. That's where I really struggle with.
Yeah, it can be tough. That's definitely an area that is like it also depends on like you're right, like the person, the situation, even the streamer and setting and all of that. Like it's very rare that it's like super universal, unless it's just like, this is a troll, they just came in here to do this thing. Yeah, that's easy. yeah, that's super easy to deal with. My whole thing for the past little bit has been like, I know I think I've said this on stream. I don't know if you guys were here for it or not, but like my thing recently has been like, I feel like when generally, if you are starting to be bothered by something, like you, the streamer, or if you're starting to be bothered by something, chances are there are people in chat who have been feeling that way for a long time, but they're not going to say anything, because most of them, unless they're like mods maybe, but like most of them probably don't feel like they're in a position or a place to say, hey, this person's really making me feel uncomfortable, or like, I don't like when this person does, like, there's no real way to like communicate that for most people probably. So my thought has always been like, chances are if I'm starting to feel this way, everyone else has been feeling this way for a little bit longer, and then from there it's sort of like an evaluation of, is this
the needs of the many?
True. Yeah, 100%. That, I think you have to consider that, and then you have to be like, okay, is this something that is like do I warn them and kind of say like, hey, just so you know, like, here are the rules, or like, let me remind everybody of the rules, or is it a, you know, instant ban type situation, like that kind of thing. Like just a rip off the Band-Aid sort of whatever, and it kind of just depends on I think the situation and again the people and there's a lot of factors involved, but like dealing with that is not fun. I think for anybody. I don't think
I've only had one ban since I've started streaming, and
fair.
It was very much at first like what Ivy was saying of like for like maybe a month of like you don't know what they have going on, like where they're from, like they might not understand the social cues, and I was like just letting it slide, and then there was just one day where it was like no, like it's too much, and I was like I realized that everyone else had stopped talking in the chat
right
once that person started chatting, and I was like, well, now it's very clear that like I'm not the only one that is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's sometimes it's really hard in the moment, I think, sometimes to recognize those things, because then it's at least for me it's very easy to be like I must be the only one who's feeling this way, or like I might be the one who's being not the problem, but like it's a me thing versus like then realizing like there's kind of setting a tone, or the tone is being shifted. People aren't as happy when the person's around or whatever. But luckily, like I think for the most part we've seen like there are plenty of people who are just lovely. who like,
it's very heavily weighed towards lovely people who just want to chat about the thing you're playing or want to learn more about you and stuff like that. It's a small percentage kind of thing,
right?
Sure.
But it's one of those percentages that when it comes in, you're like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do here? Over the few years that I've streamed, the number has accumulated. It's not like I wouldn't say very high, besides like bots and stuff. But there have been plenty of times where I've had to decide, like, actually kind of evaluate things and be like, all right. This person like either seems to be making other people uncomfortable, or I've warned them about a thing, and they like just don't really listen. But
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, friends, we can go ahead and wrap it up there. But Yvie, Ross, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. Really appreciated having you guys on stream.
Absolutely. Fantastic way to start my weekend, I'll be honest. I've had a great time.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad. That makes me happy. Yeah, especially because I know you guys have some fun stuff planned. So, so that makes me happy that you enjoyed this. Before you guys go, Raph, can you tell people where to find you, when you're streaming next, etc.?
Yeah, just official Ross DTD on Twitch. And I'll be streaming Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. AEST. And we'll be playing Valorant, I think, is what I'm feeling like.
Oh, right. Because, now that...
Here comes the Ross self promo.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. That didn't mean to interrupt. That was really funny.
That was great. Especially now that Black Ops 6 is paused for now. I'm sure you've been...
Sad. But when that comes out, 24-hour stream, 12 hours every day for a week after
12 hours? Wait, what? 12 hours a day for a week?
Did you take a week off for Black Ops?
I sure did.
Oh my goodness. 24 hours. Oh goodness.
24 hours and then 12 hours every day. And I've already made the challenge to Dead Set Amen in the chat that we are going to race to Prestige 10.
Doing. Do it. I believe in you guys.
That might
It'll be fun.
I think Dead Set will win that.
I do think that also.
Wrapped.
Yeesh. And now, Wivington, tell us about next time you're streaming, all of that. What are you gonna be streaming soon, etc.?
Yeah, I forgot to say that earlier. I realized I usually stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and Mondays if there's not a Formula One race that weekend, because that's when me and my roommate watch. I think it's Astrobot Tuesday this week, and then if I finish that Tuesday night, it'll be Funko Fusion. If we don't finish it, Astrobot again Thursday.
I'm excited
and
about
Funko
that.
Fusion the next week. I'm so excited. I'm so keen to get this game. Yeah, I don't know what was I supposed to say again. Sorry.
I think you. I feel like line. I feel like you covered it. Just what when you were streaming next and what games you're playing. So I think you did it.
Tuesday
You've
night,
done it.
Usually around 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. But I'm well known for not really having a set schedule, and I will just post on my Discord when I'm going to go live a few hours in advance. Because if I skip gym, I'll start earlier and stuff like that.
We love it. We love it. Anytime you guys are streaming, it's always going to be a good day. So thank you guys. One, for people who don't know, you will regularly see me in these two people's chats because they're both wonderful, very, very fun. I'm not like even a big like huge FPS person, but like I'll watch Raph for anything. I play some retro games, but I'm not like Wivey's playing like Crash and other games that I've never played before, and it's just fun to hang out with them. So you guys, I think you would love. I think you guys would love to check out both Wivey and Ross. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really appreciated it. We'll have to have you guys on again another time, and maybe we'll actually play a game, or maybe we'll just yap the whole time. We don't know. It's nice to have a failsafe though, in the case something were to happen. But luckily, I feel like we're all pretty good yappers, so it kind of works out for us.
Real quick as well. Anybody who's here watching that came from our Discords and isn't actually following Jet, make sure you do give Jet a follow. He is so cozy and calm to watch. It's a great way to spend your mornings if you're Australian, or your afternoons or nights if you're international. He's a great listen. He's very welcoming. So make sure you do watch Jet as well if you don't follow him already.
Thanks, Wivey. But no, I do appreciate that. There's a lot of crossover feels, I think, from our different streams and stuff. So
we play all very different games, but the vibes are all very much in tune. I feel like.
I like them. I easily, I think. Like, I would tell anybody from my community that they would like y'all's streams. Unfortunately, it's like, I wish time zones were, like, more aligned, but, sigh.
It's flat, and it was all just one big... bring back Pangea, so we can...
Yes, please.
I can't
100%.
remember who I was talking to in one of your streams, Jet, but they're like, I'm so sorry that I've never been able to come check out one of your streams, and I was like, oh, it's totally fine, because they were like, I can't believe that I can't like return the favor and watch you. And I was like, for you, it's like you should be asleep. For me, I'm just at work. Like, it's very easy for me to be here right now. It is not easy for you to be around when we stream.
It's perfect for me because I'm a night owl. So I'm like, I will just, you guys, it's my schedule already. I've already adapted to Australian time. But anyway, friends, thank you so much for being here. Everybody who came in and hung out with us, Wivey and Ross, thank you for
right at the end too.
Monty, hello.
Hey, Monty.
Thank you so much for popping in. But you guys, thank you again for just chatting with me and lounging and hanging out. But that is it for us today, friends. So again, go follow Wivey and Ross. If you're not, please go do so. But friends, that is it for us today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!